we're here for one last home game for the great champions before an early off-season. The BC Lions are waiting to find out where they will be when the playoffs begin.
Well, the Lions still have a chance to host a playoff game, but they're going to have to run the table starting this game this afternoon.
An absolutely perfect afternoon in Calgary. It's -2. The wind south at 9. That's right to left across your television screen. A wonderful day, but there's snow in the forecast for tomorrow.
Adam Rita took over in Week 7 as the head coach of the BC Lions, and in 10 games has 8 wins to his credit. The Lions have locked up a playoff spot. They just have to determine where they will play that game.
Wally Bueno, 13 years on the job in Calgary, dealing with his first year out of the playoffs in a wonderful run. It's been a long season for the Stampeders, and in particular for their head coach, who is just not used to an early exit.
Well, there's a few players on this team, the Calgary Stampeders, that are not used to an early exit. 13 straight seasons in the playoffs for Wally Bueno. And on the opposite side of the field, Damon Allen once again has led the BC Lions to a playoff berth. He has done it in the last 4 seasons and has led the team to a Grey Cup championship a couple of years ago.
8 wins in the Lions' last 10 games, and they're sitting pretty in the CFL West with a record of 9-7 and 2 games to go. Lions are hoping for a victory here today and the opportunity in the final game against Saskatchewan to lock up 3rd spot in the West or 2nd spot in the West and a playoff dates on home turf. From the 20, we're underway. This is McGarity, Wayne McGarity, in his 4th game for the Stampeders. Good return, a spirited return, in fact, of 28 yards and out across the 45 to almost the 50, where Tony Walker made the tackle. Ben Sankey gets his 2nd straight start for the Stampeders. It was a medium outing last week in a key game and a loss to the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, but he did move the team and tossed for 319 yards.
Calgary football, 1st and 10 at the 48. The starting quarterback
said he was a little nervous in his first start of the 2002 season a week ago, but he feels a lot better and a lot more comfortable with the offense here this afternoon.
Calvin Anderson out across midfield, and when Anderson runs well, the Stampeders have some success. Ian Badegio making the tackle there. And here are the backs and the receivers for the Calgary Stampeders, with Moore and Loud inside, McGarity Peterson outside. Calvin Anderson will run the ball, and Crysdale is in the middle of things down there. Heisman is a change at right guard because of an illness to Bobby Singh.
Well, Calvin Anderson, one of the players that just doesn't understand this feeling, the feeling the Calgary Stampeders are going through right now, out of the playoffs with a couple of games to go.
On 2nd and 3, and this will be enough for a 1st down for the Stampeders. Travis Moore.
Well, guys like Travis Moore certainly won't lie down, even though they are out of the playoff picture, so that puts the pressure squarely on this defense for the BC Lions, who really have been the key. That linebacking core, second to none in the CFL. And there's your secondary, Eric Carter and Derek Lewis on that left side. Always play the wide side of the field in the Lions defense. Baron Simpson is the Christian and the good guy, so to speak, in the middle. And then the other two, Ian Badegio and Carl Kidd, well, they're not.
Well,
they're the rebels.
A little harsh. Oh, they're rebels.
The rebels.
Okay, yes. There's Kelvin Anderson.
But it's interesting, and people have been talking about it for the last few weeks since this linebacking core has really played so well, and they've established some dominance, especially at home, winning their last 5 in a row. And Carl Kidd, the nominee for the team's outstanding defensive player, Baron Simpson, last year's nominee, and when you put Simpson in the middle of those two, he's the run stopper. Carl Kidd can do it both, and Ian Badegio he's the pass cover linebacker.
This is 2nd and 7. Sankey is on the money, and the Stampeders are off to a fine start down to the 25. Travis Moore, his 2nd catch. Prior to that, he had a 17-yard reception. And this is for 10. And another Stampeder 1st down.
You listen to some of the veterans for the Calgary Stampeders talk about this game. It's important to them to win their last couple. They feel that they want to show their fans that they're going to still play hard even though they're out of the playoffs. And this afternoon, the players will give away the jerseys to some lucky fans here in McMahon, and they want them to be after a win.
Antonio Warren, and this will be another Stampeder first down, 11 yards as Barron Simpson got over to make the tackle on Antonio Warren there. Talking about Simpson and his linebacking mates, Barron is taking the boys bowling next week.
Yeah, he's trying to calm them down a little bit. And Warren is going to be the guy that Barron Simpson is going to try and bear down on him and Kelvin Anderson, because that's the running backs is Barron Simpson's responsibility. Carl Kidd and Brendan Iamadejo are the guys that can adjust to receivers. They get out there and are into coverage a lot more than they're stopping the run.
Another Stampeder first down from the 14. And that play was well read. McGarity on an end around ran right into Derek Lewis and lost a little bit.
Well, Derek Lewis took a block that was questionable, almost in the back. It comes from this side to disrupt the play, number 17, and right there takes a block in the back from Camille Loud. That was not called and still makes the tackle. Talk about picking all-stars. Derek Lewis has got to be high on the list this season, with the season he's put together for BC.
Loss of 5, 2nd and 15, so Sankey goes to the shotgun, and no one was home on a touchdown toss from Ben Sankey.
Travis Moore thought he got a penalty against Tony Walker. He really felt that Walker grabbed him. Little outside move. Now Walker's allowed to defend his area. Maybe he left his left arm on Travis Moore just a little bit too long. But as long as Tony Walker stays square to the line of scrimmage with those shoulder pads, he is allowed to protect the territory that he's standing in. And that's when he jammed Travis Moore.
Mark McLaughlin, a 26-yard field goal try. He has rediscovered his touch after a recent slump. And the Stampeders settle for 3 on a rather impressive opening drive, I thought.
Ladies and gentlemen, could you please welcome your 2002 Frank Sisson Silver Dollar Outriders. Joico, the official hair product supplier of the Stampeders and the Stampeder Outriders. And don't forget to purchase your Stampeder Outriders calendar for 2003. It's sponsored by Cowboys Dance Hall. Available today for just $5. With Calgary Stampeders, Peters Drive and Dairyland Kids Club member Jennifer.
Wally Buono would be a happier guy if the Stampeders opened with more drives like that one. 43 yards and 429 and a three-point field goal.
Ben Sankey moving the football, and now it's Damon Allen's first crack at the football. 3,638 yards passing with a couple of games to go for the veteran of 18 seasons.
After the field goal, the Lions begin at the 35. This is Chris Wright. And there's nowhere for Wright to find room on the far side. Damon Allen at the controls as always. Two nice receivers outside, Ryan Thelwell and Alfred Jackson. Inside, Geroy Simon, who leads the way, and Jason Claremont. Jamie Terrace says this is going to be his final season in the CFL, so there are some other new faces up there who'll have to jump in and fill the gap when Jamie Terrace retires.
According to Damon Allen, Alfred Jackson is 100% healthy right now, and he's had some hamstring problems, but Jackson is healthy, so he'll put some pressure on this secondary for the Calgary Stampeders. Up front, the front seven led by Alondra Johnson, who 14 seasons in the CFL, 12 with the Calgary Stampeders, all 12 in the playoffs until this season. And there's the secondary I talked about. Apparently Kelly Malville has, all the Sharpies are hidden. They're gone.
They took him right out of his locker.
Yeah.
They stole his pencil case is what they did.
They did.
Starting lineups brought to you by Midas. See Midas for all your car care needs. That was blocked, but it was whistled down before that.
Chris Hoople got in there.
Chased it into the end zone. And you're right, it was Chris Hoople.
Chris Hoople got the block, but it was definitely whistled down early. This is somewhat of a home game for Tony Martino. He lives in Calgary and just...
Illegal procedure. British Columbia, still third down.
Well, that's one of those penalties that you could call a good penalty for the BC Lions, because Chris Hoople had the block, and the procedure call that goes against BC saved a huge turnover. And there's Martino, who lives in Calgary, just travels to BC just prior to game time. He's done that all season long, so a bit of a home game for the punter.
Antonio Warren awaits, and they got close that time on Martino again. Warren in traffic with one of his own players, flags are down, and Warren has about 3 yards on the return. Brent Johnson leading the tacklers for the BC Lions.
Lions number 97, Brent Johnson.
Lions dodged a big bullet there, because that turnover, if Chris Hoople gets that block, Aldi Henry was running it down. That was a touchdown for Calgary. Procedure call against BC. They get the field position back. So Adam Rita, early in this one, dodges a bit of a bullet. BC Lions have not lost here in Calgary since the year 2000.
Had a nice run here, and of course, a nice run on home turf since Adam Rita took over. With 8 wins in the last 10 games.
Procedure, no end, BC, penalties declined, no yards, BC, first down.
A couple of early errors by the Lions, and that was a problem for BC last week in the loss to Saskatchewan.
Well, this is what could have been for the Calgary Stampeders. Basically a 10-point lead if Aldi Henry runs down that football, Chris Hoople with the block. But a procedure call, the whistle was definitely had blown before Hoople touched that football.
But with the 2 penalties on the return, the Stampeders begin right near midfield, almost at the 54.
Uh-oh.
Off someone and intercepted. Baron Simpson was under it. Sankey's pass bounced off a defender and right into the arms of Baron Simpson. He is the man in the heart of this BC Lion defense. This is an easy one. 1st and 10 BC when we come back. Who did it go off, Glenn? Did you see?
I didn't see. Run it
I think it might have been even one of his own. I said off a defender, but
his guy. I think it was his own guy.
It's even worse, isn't it?
I think it was Jay McNeil. Yeah, it's Jay McNeil.
Would you mind
Off the helmet of Jay McNeil.
topping?
I thought it was his helmet. No? I thought that
Who's
was his helmet. I
96?
thought it bushed it. Yeah, Tyrone Williams, but I thought it went off his helmet because the way it bounced straight up.
What was wrong with your headset there?
When Mac talks to me, it cuts everything else out.
Yeah, but that usually happens. That's interrupt, isn't it? No.
No.
Oh.
No, he can
Okay.
usually talk to me when you're talking. I can hear you still.
Do it again and see if it's working right.
No, it's real faint way back there. Okay. Tyrone Williams, a good push though.
Yes, and it was sounding great.
Can I I'm going to draw quick, okay, buddy?
Sponsor up.
Who's taking this?
Tyrone Williams right in the middle here for the BC Lions. Gets a good push on Jay McNeil and pushes him right back into Ben Sankey. And that ball bounces off the helmet of Jay McNeil and into the arms
Boing.
of Baron Simpson. But that's a good push from Tyrone Williams. Gives Simpson the interception. Creates the first turnover of this football game.
And the Lions are set up at the BC 45, trailing 3-0. Allen on the money, far side. Nowhere to run after the catch was made.
It's number 7,
Alfred Jackson is the hitch guy on the outside right here, and Jackson has to come back so far to the football, or he probably has first down yardage. See, he settles in there. See how he has to come back and really leave his feet to make the catch. Good yardage on first down, but he probably would have been able to turn and run for another 5 to 10 had that ball been a little bit further down the field.
Moving Alfred Jackson outside has really been a benefit for the BC Lions, and that's one of the moves that Adam Rita made. Flag down. Damon Allen will escape and have enough for the first down if the infraction is against the Stampeders.
See what the flag is. Damon Allen, in his ability to run the football, just doesn't seem to drop off with age at all, and it really is the key. Adam Rita encourages it.
Calgary 98. First down.
This will be a first down. It's Damon Allen running, and when you look throughout this season, Damon Allen pushing 40 years old, his running ability is still key and still the reason he breaks down defenses. 9 wins for Damon Allen. He's rushed for over 300 yards, and in the losses, that's dropped way off. Still the key. Damon Allen gets outside of the pocket. It puts a bind in the defense.
First down, and this is Chris Wright, left side for a couple. The ball squirted loose.
Fumbled the football, and it came right back to him.
I think the Lions get it right back. That's the indication.
Still trying to work Chris Wright into the lineup as a running back, and you see number 4 back there with Damon Allen on basically a draw from the shotgun position or a little counter to the left side, and they want to get Wright the football from the tailback position so they can get a little speed out of the backfield. They like Sean Millington and his power along with Lyle Green. If they can get Wright going, they've got the balance.
Allen on 2nd and 10. And a man, no catch. Ryan Thelwell dropped it, and he's had a problem with that at certain stages of this season, a problem hanging onto the ball.
Well, the problem was really early in the year. In the first 6 games, Ryan Thelwell put a bunch on the ground just like this. When Adam Rita took over, they went to play Winnipeg, and Rita told Ryan Thelwell, you will be the key and the difference in this football game. Thelwell put together a great game and has really played well since then. He puts that one on the ground early in this one.
Heads up, heads up.
There will be no return on the punt by Tony Martino. So the Stampeders don't give up anything except a little field position on the turnover.
It is 1st and 10 now. Calgary Stampeders.
Why don't we just establish a little bit of the hollow feeling for the Calgary guys, Jay McNeil.
And if you're
What do you think, bud?
23, seat 11. You're this quarter's winner of a
Jay McNeil
Kelp Grill and Rice Cooker, courtesy of Safeway Fans
Big
and
Chill.
Fans.
Yeah, the whole left side of the O-line have been around a long time. 9 years, 7 for Chill, 10 for Crysdale.
At the Real Auto Parts now, Auto Parts would like to welcome our lucky Kick to Win winner, Sean Hinton. He's going to kick first choice of VCR, stereo, or TV. And Sean, it's pretty obvious, but how far are you kicking, bud? 25 yards. Do
you want to get into Sankey versus Crandall, based on the fact that Crandall is under contract for next year? Sankey's a free agent.
So this decision to start him, you mean?
Yeah. And the fact is that Sankey doesn't want to sign a contract here unless he gets a team. He wants to at least explore his options.
So much.
I guess you don't want to do that.
We're going to do the out of the playoffs
CD player
first.
And make sure you visit your local Napa store for the right parts and service and enter to win your chance to Kick to Win.
Well, all great runs come to an end, and that's the story for Wally Buono. 13 seasons on the sidelines in Calgary, and this will be the first year that he will not be around for the playoffs.
That's tough on a few players on this team. And the left side of that offensive line, Fred Childress, Jay McNeil, Jamie Crysdale, 7, 9, and 10 years respectively here in Calgary, all in the playoffs.
On 1st and 10, Sankey got it away, but there's not much running room out there. As Derek Lewis, one of the steadiest defensive backs in the league, was over there to cover it well.
And I was asking some of the players, the Calgary Stampeders, that are veterans, just how they felt about that, and some of the guys were saying it's almost surreal. At this time of year for Calgary, they were always gearing up for a playoff run. Oftentimes, they were sitting in first place, knowing they had that bye locked up. And now they were saying the word like it's a hollow feeling, surreal.
2nd and 5, and Sankey isn't going anywhere. Off the edge, Tony Walker had him lined up.
Just an overloaded blitz from the BC Lions. You're going to see 3 to the outside, all 3 right here. Herman Smith, Brendan Iambadejo, and 39, Tony Walker, and it's Walker coming off the edge. And he gets home on Ben Sankey.
Objectionable conduct, taunting.
BC 26. It was after the play. It's 3rd down.
So that's Carl Kidd. And the Stampeders won't get any first downs out of this drive, but they'll get a little yardage as a result of that.
Still going to have to punt the football, though, for the BC.
Oh, yes.
And for the BC Lions, John, key to start putting some points on the board with the field position advantage that they have now, simply because a team like Calgary, who's basically down and out with regards to the playoffs, can jump up and bite you in a hurry if you let them stay in it.
Duncan O'Mahony, good kick here. G-Roy Simon stays in bounds, but lost a little yardage. Turns around, and there was nowhere to go after that. Penalty flag down to the far side, however. We'll check it out when we return. Watch for that flag if we can here.
Illegal block. BC 39. 1st down.
We got it. Let me do that penalty and then you can take it, okay? An illegal block by BC's Tony Walker has the Lions marched back to their 17-yard line to begin this drive.
It puts Damon Allen in a hole, and it eats up all of that field position advantage that they were enjoying.
Pretty good kick by O'Mahony, chased them back as well. 1st down, Lions. Sean Millington's first carry of the ball game. And he says this will be his last season. Damon Allen isn't quite so sure about that because Millington has said that before.
Millington has said it. He said it a couple of times that he would think about retiring at the end of the year, and he's put together another very good season, over 600 yards rushing, 4.2 yard average. But a couple of weeks ago, we had a chance to sit down with Millington in a press conference before the game, and he was asking me a lot of questions with regards to retiring and how I felt about it, and I think he's been doing that around the league. I think this time he means it. This is the one that he'll finish out this season, and that'll be it.
Here's Allen on 2nd down. Smooth as ever, and he's got Anderson for a 1st down out across the 40-yard line at about the 44. Very cool play by Damon Allen for 25 yards.
Yeah, outside the pocket to Anderson. And with Millington, he's in a position now where he's getting up there in age, and he's one of those guys, and most players at this level are like it, but he's one of those guys that never ever wants to be on the football field if his skills start to diminish. And he feels like right now he's hanging in there and the level is good, but doesn't want to take a risk.
Allen from the shotgun gets this one away in a hurry. And Alfred Jackson was the intended receiver, with Deshaun Austin covering.
It's never wrong to go long, to quote a good buddy of mine back in the studio in Toronto, Matt Dunnigan. You're never wrong when you go long. And Alfred Jackson forced out of bounds by Deshaun Austin. Pretty good coverage right in his hip pocket. But it's not wrong to take a shot at it and go down the field and see if Deshaun Austin won't back up a little bit and give Alfred Jackson some room underneath.
Yeah, and I always like to see it early in the game, don't you?
Yeah, establish it.
Establish it, or at least put the fear in the defense. Allen missed there.
Well, right now, G-Roy Simon, you can see them both, G-Roy Simon and Ryan Thelwell down there talking it over. both players, one of the two of them had to break out. That was a combination pattern on the right side of the formation. Damon Allen threw it to a spot, and either Geroy Simon or Ryan Thelwell had to have the out, and one was on the go pattern. And you see they both went straight down the field. The ball was thrown straight out of bounds.
Martino's punt on third down, coming down to Wayne McGarity. Nifty little move there. This guy has some speed, and he's bumped out to about the 33 for an 8-yard return. Sankey gets the call to start this one, and he is not under contract to the Calgary Stampeders for next season. He is a free agent and has hesitated about signing a deal that would carry him into next year because he really wants to be in charge of a football team. Marcus Crandall, on the other hand, is under contract for 2 more years. So it's an interesting maneuver, I think, to have Sankey as your starter here today.
Well, yeah, and Wally Bono sort of said that, that's not the reason I started Ben Sankey today, but you've got to think that there's got to be something to that.
Sankey stands in. Kelvin Anderson makes the catch, but it's for only about a yard. Ian Badegio.
And Marcus Crandall, last year's Grey Cup MVP, who has struggled this season, still put up decent numbers. Probably too many interceptions for Wally Buono's liking, but he's had a different receiving core than he had a year ago.
I would say more of the blame for the difficulties the Stampeders have had on offense really goes to the receiving core, wouldn't you?
I would. That was where their inconsistencies came from.
That was inconsistency.
Yeah.
Yes.
Second down, 8 to go.
Sankey may not get this one away. Sacked earlier, and he's down again.
Sankey sacked.
Herman Smith this time.
Number 91, Herman
Brent Johnson and Herman Smith, a little party at the quarterback, and they were coming from opposite ends, I believe, and when they got there, it was just a Ben Sankey sandwich. Brent Johnson, they rotate in. You see number 91, Herman Smith on an inside move. Brendan Amadejio coming, and again, Tony Walker from the secondary. BC Lions obviously going to see if Ben Sankey can handle a little pressure early on in this football game. They're sending halfback blitzes, linebacker blitzes.
They've gotten to him twice. Low snap. O'Mahony handles it. Not as good a kick this time. A one-hopper for Geroy Simon. Has the sideline for about 7 on the return. Wonderful afternoon in Calgary. Sports Center with Corey Warren will follow with a World Series preview, I'm thinking.
Winnipeg beat Hamilton.
28-7 was the score there.
Yeah, so highlights from that. So Winnipeg really has control in the West as far as hosting a playoff game. They win their last one versus Edmonton, and they've got home field advantage.
But the Argos say thank you very much for that because Toronto is alive for a playoff spot heading into the final week as a result of that Hamilton loss. Here's Chris Wright. Nice little spin. And then he's fired back by 3 Stampeders, including James Cotton.
Well, yeah, it's interesting now when you look at it because if it was going to happen now, BC would play Hamilton, but Hamilton lost, which puts Toronto in the driver's seat. Toronto can win 1 game and take Hamilton's spot in second. Now, BC, Winnipeg, and Saskatchewan still remains to be seen who will host the playoff game in the West semifinal. Winnipeg's in the driver's seat. They win 1 more, and they've got it locked up.
And the Tiger Cats with the bye in the final week can't do a thing about it now. Damon Allen looked to run, then decided to throw. Flags are down. Chris Wright was the target.
I thought Greg Freres got there a little early. The flag came down, and I think Freres coming over Chris Wright hit him just before the ball arrived. That's a tough call for the official to make. Look at Freres in the middle of your screen.
Interference. Calgary number 12. First down.
There's Wright right there in the middle of your screen. Damon Allen rolling to his left, throwing back across the middle, which is impossible for 99% of the quarterbacks in North America, let alone in the Canadian Football League, and Allen just does it, no problem. Freres gets the penalty.
Yeah, and that was an error by Freres because Wright couldn't have got the ball anyway.
Well, he was close. He was down there. He went down for it. You don't think he could have had it?
I don't think he could have had it. I think it was hopping to him, as a matter of fact.
All right.
Sean Millington to the 40.
Number 28.
Well, you mentioned the Argos and how important that loss by Hamilton today was for the Argos. They are now in the driver's seat, so because this game now becomes so important to the Argos, let's do it.
Well, we might as well. Because I have nothing else to do next Sunday afternoon. Do you?
We were going to be in Montreal.
That was it, yes.
But now we'll switch that game and do the Argo game. Argo's playoff hopes resting in that one.
And the Montreal game with Ottawa really has no bearing on anything. So obviously the reason we're sliding into Skydome is, rather than Molson Stadium, is to do a game that has some meaning to it and some importance.
7. Still second down.
You know, you saw Damon Allen throwing across his body, and it really puts defenses in a bind. Watch Allen sprint out of the pocket, smooth. He steps up. Now he's to the outside, full speed, running to his left. And as a defensive back, I want to tell you something. That's a Bearcat. That is a Bearcat. Now he gets outside, and he's running around like that. Do you come up and try and tackle Damon Allen, or do you stay back in coverage?
Lions were outside, so now it's second down and more than 10. Damon Allen is wrapped up and drops right at midfield. James Cotton got there, and that's the first time Allen has been down.
Well, that pocket started to collapse. A 4-man rush by the Calgary Stampeders, and Cotton goes down. Damon Allen wanted to go to the left side of the formation. He's got Alfred Jackson going deep down the field, covered well by Deshaun Austin. No one open, and has to take the sack.
And no play on this punt for Antonio Warren, so the BC Lions come away with decent field position, or at least forced the Calgary Stampeders back inside the 15 on a pretty good punt there. Final play of the opening quarter with the Stampeders on top by 3.
The Calgary Stampeders 3, the BC Lions no score. Football fans, we direct your attention to the south end of the field where Brentford Chrysler presents the all-new Dodge Ram Quadcat. Completely redesigned for 2003, Dodge takes pickup trucks to a whole new level once again. Sedan-like rear doors, new interior, mega-large front grille.
Hi there, hi there.
Line up with engines and 20-inch wheels. So
I seem to have a new headset.
I'm getting a new headset? Huh?
These top new trucks.
I mean, I don't know. It's not a big deal. I'm sort of used to it. Would it matter? Would it matter? Would it still be cut off? Well, why don't
How you doing,
plug
Mac?
that in, and then I'll try it.
Stampeder fans, direct your attention to field level. Stampeder representatives are
Yeah, I think it's pretty good.
Will that box stretch over to this side?
Spare. 1, 2, 1, 2.
What did they think of our horse opening in Toronto?
Yes, you are. You're tripping one side only.
Does it cut out? It interrupts on one side. Yeah, that's good. If you could bring it over. Put it right in there. I'm going to move to spare, okay, buddy?
I'm on
spare.
this. Thank you. That
I'm just going to turn this around so I don't make that
bag
mistake.
there, just there's a cardboard in there.
Yeah, exactly.
I hope.
There we go. Now we got her going.
Don't forget there is playoff football in Calgary on Friday night. The UC Dino football playoffs. McMahon
Dave, you got any
clock against Regina. Call
tape?
220 Dino and get your tickets. Friday night playoff football
Just-
like McMahon.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. Yeah, we've solved the problem here, I think. All right, we're ready for it on a sunny afternoon in Calgary. McMahon Stadium, final game of 2002 for the Stampeders on home turf. Kelvin Anderson finds a little room after the hole appeared to be blocked. It's 5 yards for Kelvin Anderson. And when Anderson goes well, the Stampeders have success.
Well, 12 yards rushing for the BC Lions and only 11, so they got to get Calvin Anderson more involved in the offense. You're absolutely right, John, because they do have success when Calvin Anderson runs the ball. Just 11 rushing yards in the first half. Time of possession almost bang on. Both teams sort of swapping punts in the first quarter.
Make it a 4-yard gain for Anderson. 2nd and 6 for the Stampeders. Sankey sacked for the third time. Wrapped up 3 times already. Tyrone Williams that time. Now, part of the reason can be a newcomer, or at least Heisman playing at one spot on the offensive line.
See Travis Moore up to the left of your screen. He just goes out of your screen there. You see how Sankey was trying to go to him? He was trying to look to that side. He got jammed up by Tony Walker bad. Travis Moore took about 8 steps, got jacked up by Tony Walker, and Ben Sankey had nowhere to throw the football.
Well, he's been sacked for the third time, twice in the opening quarter, once here with the second quarter just underway. And the Stampeders have had to make some adjustments along the offensive line. And this is perhaps a wise decision for Calgary to give up the point here. Two points for the BC Lions and a third sack for the Lions as well. Yeah, that'd be great. How are you doing, Suits?
I'm okay. I'm fine.
Can you hear better now?
Yeah, it's good. I can hear you now. It's just in my one ear now.
As long as you're happy, because I mean,
I was happy before. This is just better. Improve it if you can improve it, right?
I don't know when we're going to talk about blue.
Yeah, we might not get a chance.
Millington's retiring, so is blue. Millington Terrace and blue.
Yeah.
We're getting a lot of FaceTime today, eh? That extra little bit there.
Can become the McJunior Stampeder for the day. You sit on the bench.
Yeah. Watch it chop. Ronald's on the field.
Please welcome Ronald McDonald and today's McJunior Stampeder, Mark. There is a little McDonald's in everyone. Once again, Mark Milligan. Okay, Stampeder fans, looks like we're all
I think it's fun.
Watching on some Act 2 kettle corn microwave popcorn. And you lucky fans in section S.
We did.
As in Sam, rows 29 to 55. Microwave popcorn, all courtesy of Act 2 kettle corn.
Here they are. One guy is smiling because he's heading to the playoffs. That's Adam Rada. Wally's scowling a little bit more this season, but it's been a tough year in Calgary.
Well, first time in a long time for Calgary. Adam Reda's got BC Lions going. You know, when a stat in the notes that are made up here by Ron Rook, who does such a nice job with the Calgary Stampeders, and one of the notes in there is that Wally Buono, since 1990, has been the only head coach the Calgary Stampeders have ever had. The BC Lions, for example, have gone through 8 during that time. And that's the consistency that Calgary Stampeders and their fans have grown to enjoy here.
Well, it has been a terrific run, including 3 Grey Cup appearances. And the championship last year, first down. Whoa! There was nowhere to go for Millington that time as Otis Floyd back into the lineup after missing last week, wrapped him up and tossed him down.
Well, he plays that perfect. He steps up and plays that run defense like you got to play it from his linebacker position. You see James Cotton does his job on the block on the outside. He turns the running back Millington right into the arms of Otis Floyd, and Millington is a big guy. I mean, and Otis Floyd just throws him down on the ground.
6'2", 225. That's a load, no question about it. 2nd and 10. Allen has that one deflect harmlessly. So Melvin Bradley supplying some pressure.
And Damon Allen's had pretty good field position in this first half, and he hasn't really taken advantage of it. Also has had 1 turnover that he hasn't scored on. So something that can come up and catch up to you if you're playing against a team that really has nothing to lose, like Calgary right now.
Lions are having some difficulty. This is their 5th punt in a row without gaining any first downs. Antonio Warren. Warren was wrapped up by Brent Johnson. Lions began with 1 win in the first 6 games.
And then Adam Reda took over, and they started scoring touchdowns rather than field goals, outscored opponents. 5 straight home wins. I mean, that's the key. Damon Allen started playing better. without a doubt. And then you look at those takeaways. 42 takeaways since Adam Rita has taken over. They had 9 under Steve Barato after 6 games. So the defense started playing better, plain and simple. And that linebacking core, maybe the addition of Brendan Iambadejo was the key.
Here's Ben Sankey on first down, Calgary. More heat, and he's down again. Got it away just in the nick of time to Kelvin Anderson, but there was a flag down far side.
And positive yardage. Looks like about 5 yards.
You look at the personnel changes that Adam Rita made. Really, when you look at them, there wasn't a whole bunch. One of the ones he did, he took Brendan Iambadejo.
Offside. Calgary number 86. First down repeated.
And Brendan Iambadejo was playing on special teams for BC at the time. Took Brendan Iambadejo and put him at the linebacking core, and there he is right there. He ends up tackling Kelvin Anderson in the flat. That was really the only change defensively that Adam Rita executed.
It would have been a gain of 6, but it's a loss of 5 and 1st and 15 for Sankey now. Sankey steps up, there's room to run, and he's to the 45. Nice run by Sankey, and who was there to stop him but Iambadejo, who leads the Lions, incidentally, in special teams tackles, and that's how he got noticed with 26 of those so far.
And you look at him, he drops into the flat here now. Ben Sankey gets outside the pocket, so he's one-on-one with Brendan Iambadejo, and Iambadejo has to decide when to come out of coverage to make the tackle. 67 tackles on the season, 3 interceptions, and has solidified himself as a starter in that linebacking core. A linebacking core that a lot of people in this league are saying is the best in the league.
Are you saying that, Glenn?
Well, they're among the top in the league. Yeah, I would say it.
I think you're right. I really do. Well, it's an active group, and they really move around so well back there as Travis Moore makes the catch, and that'll be a first down for the Stampeders.
Well, when you have maybe the best run stopper in the middle linebacker position in Barron Simpson,
that's a good place to begin, isn't it?
That's where you start. You always start down Main Street. Carl Kidd, he's volatile. He's out there playing with reckless abandon. But when you can blitz both halfbacks like the BC Lions have done this year and have your 2 linebackers, Iambadejo and Kidd, cover, you're saying something.
Kelvin Anderson was stopped initially, slowed down, and finally the third wave of BC Lion tacklers dropped him there. Brent Johnson with the tackle. The other thing about Carl Kidd, he's nominated for the Lions twice as the outstanding player and the outstanding defensive player.
Well, yeah, and that says it right there. When Carl Kidd gets both outstanding player, outstanding defensive player, that's how good a season he's had. There's Jason Claremont, who should be the front runner in that spot. Top rookie. But
up front, Steve Harden, but Millington, the top Canadian.
These guys athletically are so good, and Carl Kidd and Brendan Iambadejo, that they're allowed to go out there and cover slot backs.
This is 2nd and 16 for Sankey, and that will be a first down. Big catch by Travis Moore.
Well, Moore paid the price. He paid retail for that one because he went down the seam. Derek Lewis at the bottom of you in corner of your screen. He takes a gamble on the football knowing that the safety, Manny Martin, is coming down, and that's paying full price.
Nothing wrong with paying retail, as you know. We'll just leave it there and slide along, right? 9:25 to halftime.
Okay.
It's a 3-2 game with the Stamps on top.
Yeah. Well, that's a good play though. That's Travis Moore. You talk about guys and whether or not they would fold their tent with 2 meaningless games left in the season. How about the catch by Travis Moore? He takes a pounding there, and he's still trying to shake it off a little bit on the sideline, trying to catch his breath. Manny Martin hit him hard. Hangs on to the football, and you think he wants to go out on a losing note?
No, he wants to get his 1,000 yards coming into the game. He's at 9:07.
Well, he wants to win, and that's the bottom line. 1,000 yards would be nice as well.
He's now at 963, and he's missed a lot of games this year. Camo Peterson.
Yeah, he missed a bunch of games. He was injured early, he got hit. That's why he's wearing the visor. He got injured in his face area early, and versus the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
Well, he's had a lot of problems this year, hasn't he?
Yeah, well, he had the big game there, and that's what he's capable of, and that's what sort of Marcus Crandall last year was so used to big games like that from Travis Moore, and then because he was in and out of the lineup so much, there was another inconsistency in that receiving core, and when you lose your go-to guy, you know, now you're scrambling as a quarterback. But you think that he's laying down for the BC Lions in this game? It'd be very easy for Travis Moore to say, I don't know, there's too much traffic in there, I'll just get out of the way. I don't think so.
Took a big hit from Manny Martin.
He is a competitor from start to finish, and when he crosses the stripes, you're going to get his best.
Injury timeout at McMahon Stadium. Not much scoring so far. It's close with the Stamps on top, 3-2.
Well, you talk. Well, see, now I can't say anything.
I know you can't.
It's not our sponsor.
I know, but I thought Elizabeth would get a kick out of it.
Oh, she's
and
killing
Blythe
herself
was
out.
howling this morning when I told her the story. So, and they loved it in the truck. So we don't do that very often, but just a little inside stuff there is kind of cool, don't you think?
Yeah.
Every once in a while.
I was stuck.
Who successfully
Okay.
completes a field goal with the fastest time wins that trip to the Grey Cup. Some tires, some
Yeah.
obstacles.
Duncan
the traffic,
O'Mahony.
And the field goal. We all set to go. Ready, set, and go. Through the tires.
Who's hurt? It's Pryor?
Craig.
Yeah.
Stretch, keep lights out.
You see, that's
Lots of up to nail the tackling dummy. Out to the field goal.
1 in every 13 you miss the playoffs. What do you think it's like to be in Toronto?
Yeah. How'd you like to be in Saskatchewan?
Yeah.
But Craig finished with the fastest time, so Craig is going to Grey Cup 2002.
Thanks for reminding me on that sponsorship thing.
Oh yeah, no, I
wasn't sure if I could.
No, but we couldn't talk.
No.
You couldn't even knock that company. I mean, because they buy from us too. You know, not necessarily in our show, but you couldn't say that. No. I would have jumped in to save you there too. I was just trying to have a giggle. Kelvin Anderson over 1,000 again for 7 straight years, and he is the outstanding player nominated from Calgary.
Great season from Alondra Johnson, just outstanding. And talking to the coaching staff before this game, he said his play hasn't dropped off. Maybe one of the problems, full credit to Duncan O'Mahony being the top
He's
Canadian.
had a good year, no question.
And he's had a great year, but if your punter is your outstanding Canadian, maybe that's an area you should be looking at for the next season.
On first down, nice play action fake and a one-hopper inside the 5-yard line. Almost a perfect play to Travis Moore. It was a real nice sell by Sankey as
well as Warren. It's two-part. Look at Antonio Warren. Antonio Warren, he went 7-8 yards and tried to make it look like he still had the football. And in fact, a lot of the defenders for the BC Lions still believed he had it.
Whoa, he was close to making a heck of a play, wasn't he?
Well, Travis Moore was open, just couldn't come back and make that extra step to catch that one.
2nd and 10 Stampeders, BC 30-yard line. This one will be good and good enough for the first down. Travis Moore again.
See, one play sets up the other play. Travis Moore, who gets up limping there, here he is right here coming out of the backfield. And as he goes down, remember that corner he ran, that play before that was just short of him? Well, he made that look exactly the same on that pattern that he came off the line of scrimmage the same way, but this time rather than going deep to the corner, he broke it off quickly on the out. Tony Walker, I should say, just couldn't react.
11-yard gain, first down, 974 yards for Travis Moore on this season. Sankey under the cover this time for Kelvin Anderson. And he's got about 5. Ian Badegio ran him out.
Travis Moore is still trying to. That was the other injury. He was injured in the face area early in the season, and then later in the year he hurt his knee, and then that's what they're looking at right now. Here's how he hurt it. He caught it coming back, tried to turn around. Tony Walker puts the clamps on him, throws him down to the ground, and he got up slow after that. See, that right knee was the first thing to hit the turf.
Actually, that right knee hit the turf twice on that play. Sankey has to hurry, got it away to the 5-yard line and a first down.
Oh, Sankey
got
took a hit.
Reginbald. Made a nice play. Sankey paid the price.
Sankey took a hit. You know, Carl Kidd tried to disguise this. He comes off the edge, and he tried to disguise, and it was a case of the disguise probably costing him a little bit. He comes from a long way back from the right of your screen there. Carl Kidd was about 4 yards from the line of scrimmage, and if he kind of would sneak up a little bit closer, he would have been there that extra second faster. Actually, it looked initially a lot worse than it was on Ben Sankey, but Kidd got caught a little bit by disguise.
12th play of the drive. Stampeders are first and goal to go. Good fake by Sankey again. Touchdown toss and a little bit too far.
His pass incomplete. Intended for number 98, Antoine Young.
Antoine Young and James Cotton out as pass receivers in the heavy set. And the ball just overthrown. And you can see that's James Cotton trying to run down
catch up.
Trying to run down that football. That's a big boy.
Now Reginbald made the first down the previous play. He is listed as the backup offensive lineman today because Stampeders are a little short. So running out of the backfield for now. Sankey lost the ball. Lions get a chance here to recover. Sankey got it back.
Brendan Iamadaggio wanted a touchdown, not just the football, and it cost him. He tried to scoop it up rather than just fall on it. Barron Simpson went way in on the play action. He was gone from the play. Watch Barron Simpson 51 first. He's gone in there. Now Ben Sankey's outside, just loses the handle. But Brendan Iamadaggio wants to scoop it up. Look, he wants to get it and run to the end zone, and he misses it. And there it is for Ben Sankey to grab it, corral it, and at least set up a field goal try for Mark McLaughlin.
Absolutely right. Iamadaggio had 6 points on his mind. And Sankey made a nice recovery after losing the handle. Mark McLaughlin made his first, and he's 2 for 2. Stampeders have doubled their outputs. Interesting stuff here.
Could be a slippery pigskin at times.
Sankey eventually gets it back.
You know, that's weird. I talked to Sankey about the glove that he wears in his throwing hand, and he said when the ball gets cold and it's kind of like this, a night like this, or an afternoon like this, he said, I think it gets slick when you try and use your bare hand, so the glove makes up for it with the tack on the glove.
Yeah.
So that's why I wear a glove to throw, and he goes and loses the hand.
Like it just
slipped right out of that hand. Didn't work.
So we don't like that plan. You guys having fun down there in the van? Last drive.
Congratulations.
Wow.
Was that 40 yards?
Oh,
That's where it ends, right? Where it comes back to. I mean, they're down to the 4-yard line, right?
Oh, he might change it now. Can you keep that? I think he's going to take it off.
It would have been, yeah. I mean, they had 67 gross. Net is 40, right?
1-800-303-1269. That's 1-800-303-1269.
You got that, Mac? With the?
Are we going to the glove shot or are we going to the kickoff?
Oh, there he put it back on. Now he's testing it.
Stampeders dodge a bullet here.
Back deep for BC, number 4.
Ben Sankey lost the handle, almost lost the ball.
Well, see, Ben Sankey on his right hand, his throwing arm, he's got that glove on one hand. He thinks he gets more tack out of it.
Well, Michael Jackson made a career out of that. It was fairly tacky, wasn't it? G. Roy Simon.
Well, it
Stopped at the 35.
It's funny, John, because I talked to Ben Sankey before the game about that glove. I said, not a lot of quarterbacks wear a glove, and he was telling me, I like it because when it's sort of a an autumn afternoon like this, it gets a little colder. I think when I use my bare hand, it's a lot slipperier on the football. So I wear this one glove, and I got the tack on the glove, and that makes up for it. Apparently the plan didn't work quite well. He took the glove off on the sideline right there. Now he's testing out whether or not he should put it back on.
Rethinking it. Stampeders get 3 points from a 40-yard drive, and the Lions start back. At the 50, it's Jason Claremont.
Well, John, you mentioned the move for Adam Rita to put Alfred Jackson out at the wide receiver spot, and Alfred Jackson more suited out there with his great speed. The reason that he was allowed to do that was because of the play of Jason Claremont. Jason Claremont came on so well and was so consistent as a receiver and a blocking slot back that they were allowed to move Jackson outside.
Damon Allen looking at first down after a 16-yard pickup. Allen switches to his left hand and then back to his right. Oh! To Anderson, who flipped it back to Stensrud.
Stensrud is not.
He was not expecting it.
No, I guess not. I guess not. This is just make it up as you go along, folks. This is Damon Allen, first of all, at his best. He was going to throw this thing left-handed, something he does in practice.
Yeah, watch the shift to the left hand here.
He was going to go to the left there, then he went back. Now, Brent Anderson decides to pitch it. He should really check out the number on the jersey before he lets go of that football, because Andy Stensrud does not want it. I guarantee you, he doesn't want anything to do with that thing.
They only lost 6, and that's a miracle. Alfred Jackson was the intended receiver on the far side, and that was second down and 16 to go. So it'll be third down, and the Lions are kicking again. What else can happen here this afternoon?
Well, hang on, we'll see.
All right, Stamps fans, now time for the Super Drug Mart Power
Hey.
Contest. And today's
Oh.
Chance
What were the Lions? What was all that?
Where was Anderson?
Just for taking part, all courtesy of Super
See, they got their pictures there.
All right, here we go. Let's catch the first one.
When they put our names up, we don't get our pictures. Hey,
You're trying to
it just
say
says commentators.
Maybe you're trying to say something.
I wish they put a picture up. Like, be a really nice if we had that 3-shot. You and me in blue.
Chance is backing up, buddy. Punt returner number 11, Chance St. Clair, trying to get $400 now at Super Drug Mart. Here we go, hands up, indication, symbols under it.
What was all that? I was hearing something else there. Good look at the punt.
He's getting going a little bit. Good job, Chance.
Whoa!
All right, get a fireball now.
Now we're going to talk about the retirement here.
Chance caught one for us. Fans sitting in the Super Drug Mart. Super fan section is Section J.
Yeah, we got to talk. Blues retiring, you know that, eh?
He's shot in the crowd. Everybody ready in Section J? Here we go. Stand up, we're trying to catch this football.
Blue doesn't know it yet. No. Another good crowd on hand here, even though there's nothing on the line for the Stampeders, and halftime is coming up. Everything is on the line for our line of Randorf, Dunnigan, Schultz, and Climbing.
Yeah, it is amazing with Calgary. Actually, over 30,000 tickets sold for this game. Doesn't mean anything in the standings for the Stamps.
McGarity looking for a block. May get it on the far side. Now penalty flags come down. And he's dropped at the 20-yard line. 10 on the return, 55 on the punt. Timeout at McMahon. You having any fun this afternoon?
Yeah.
I think it's kind of cool, you know. I mean, we got a 6-2 game.
6-2.
Illegal block.
Calgary has more shots
Calgary
on goal.
number 56. First down.
Could be Canucks and Flames. Canucks lost last night.
And if you're seated in row 10, seat 1 of Section W, you've just won a Salton Health Grill and Rice Cooker. Report to the Stampeder Administration.
Back here, Ben Sankey back at the controls. Let's see if he's the gloved one again.
Oh, take a look. He's got
Where's that
the
right hand?
right glove.
Yeah, he's got it back on.
The glove is back on, so he's going to go another series with it.
The Calgary 5-yard line. First and 10.
Certainly doesn't want to lose the handle where he's standing now.
No. Spinning to his left, far side. He's got a completion.
Wow.
Don Blair makes the catch.
Blair gets hit in the back of the legs going out of bounds there by Tony Walker. And looked like he was very close. It's going to be to the right of your screen. Sankey on that rollout. Now Blair goes up to catch this one, and the officials felt that Tony Walker pushed Blair out of bounds. In other words, without Walker pushing him, Blair would have come down with his feet in bounds.
But as it was, both feet were out of bounds. However, they likely had it right on the money because he was forced out in the air. Antonio Warren.
Just 2 yards.
Ben Sankey's moved the football pretty well for the Calgary Stampeders, and you look at the numbers, 107 yards moving in here on halftime. He has the 1 interception. That bounced off his own player's helmet, Jay McNeil, so in some ways not really his fault.
Sankey threw for 319, 1 touchdown, 1 interception last week against Winnipeg. I mean, not a bad outing overall.
No, and the only thing that, Wally Buono may say to him at halftime is when we get down inside the 20-yard line, we really have got to come away with touchdowns.
And we haven't seen one so far this afternoon with 2:09 to go till halftime. Stamps have a couple of field goals. The Lions,
they haven't been able to get anything going, John, and that maybe is the bigger concern with the BC Lions getting set for a playoff run here and a chance to still host a playoff game if Winnipeg falters in the last week.
Final game is next Friday night. Wendy's Friday Night Football live from BC Place with the Rough Riders in town.
Well, depending on what happens with Winnipeg, could be deciding whether or not BC hosts a playoff game, or if not, and Winnipeg wins, which team crosses over to the East Division.
We will know next Friday night who is going on the long road trip for the playoffs.
And we won't know until next week on the weekend whether or not they go to Hamilton or Toronto, although they can take the same plane.
Pearson International is the destination. Complete at the 41. McGarity makes the catch.
Ben Sankey thread the needle there. I mean, that's exactly. He had Barron Simpson and Brendan Iambadejo standing right beside McGarity, and somehow Ben Sankey got it in there. That ball had eyes.
McGarity playing his 4th game. He's got great speed. Has 22 yards there. He's out of Texas.
First and 10, Calgary at the Stampeders.
Sankey from the shotgun, near side, and that's another first down. Kamal Peterson. Peterson closing in on 900 yards for the season.
I'll show you Antonio Warren step up in the hole there and take the blitzing Barron Simpson away. That gave Ben Sankey time to throw it out there to Kamal Peterson.
Another Stampeder first down approaching midfield with 1:40 till halftime. McGarity should have had it. Turned to run before he had control of the ball.
You can run all you want, unless you have the football, doesn't mean much. And that's the bottom line. And this happens at every level, and it doesn't matter how long you played, how good a receiver you are. Occasionally you get anxious to turn and run, especially on those little hitch passes where the blocking is set up and you are always tempted to take a peek and just see which block is the big one and which one you can run off of. But without the football, it means nothing.
2nd and 10, Stampeders. Sankey has trouble hanging on to the ball again, and maybe he'll give that glove a second thought here.
Barron Simpson, you saw him picked up earlier. Barron Simpson lines up right in the middle of the formation on this one. And this time he comes, he hesitates for a second. No Antonio Warren in on that play to step up and take him, and Barron Simpson is there as soon as that ball is picked up by Ben Sankey.
Visiting one of our 28 Calgary locations, we look forward to giving you our
O'Mani is in. G. Roy Simon is deep for the BC Lions. along with Chris Wright. Nice punt coming down to the 15. This is Chris Wright. Sandwiched by a couple of Stampeders at the 24. Halftime just around the corner, and there's lots to talk about with the other game earlier today. Blue Bombers over the Tiger Cats. So the boys will chat about that. And our pal Blue is calling it a career after this season. Did you know that?
Well, I just heard that, and Blue I don't even think knows it himself.
No, Blue hasn't been told.
Because we still need a big game out of Blue.
9 years on the job. .105 to go.
19-year-old gray quarter horse gelding. That's cowboy talk, buddy.
And Karen Drake has been parading that wonderful horse around the sidelines.
Blue wants to warm up. And jump
you know, if he's not going to be running around here, he may be driving home.
Well, he's going to get cold if the Calgary Stampeders can't find the end zone. A couple of field goals, and that would be the thing that Wally Buono will probably say, look, we can't get Blue cold. This is his last game at McMahon. Want him to go out in style with a couple of laps.
Flags are down as Damon Allen lets one go to the far side.
I'll tell you something.
That was a nice play by Deshaun Austin, I should say. Go.
Wally Buono is going to say that to his football team. Just finish drives. We're playing pretty well with nothing on the line, and other than your own personal pride and approaching every game like a professional. And I think the Calgary Stampeders have accomplished that. But one of the things that have hurt this football team all season long is hurting them again this afternoon, and that's finishing off drives.
Offside, Calgary number 98. First down.
Boy, when I played in Saskatchewan years and years ago, we used to wear blue out. Sometimes.
Yes.
Sometimes.
Well, that's obviously why he's retiring at this point in time, all those years you were in the league.
I used to look at Blue and think, how can you keep doing laps after he was dizzy? He got dizzy on the sideline.
And that's Alan Pitts in behind number 27. Go, Blue. And here comes Dave Sapunjas. Oh, he's got one too.
All right.
Allen under pressure.
Oh, boy.
Flags are down. Allen got it away somehow anyway. Looking for Anderson, I do believe, on the far side. Well, Adam Rita
he's got some concerns, John.
Is struggling to figure out what to do with his football team at this stage, with Damon Allen a little inconsistent
Illegal
again.
contact on the receiver. Calgary, first down.
Well, there's two phases to it. I think right now the BC Lions are having some protection problems up front. Damon Allen has been on the run. We saw that Brett Anderson play where he tried to pitch it to his offensive lineman. That play previous here, Damon Allen was just running for his life to the sideline. They're having some protection problems. That's probably the first thing they've got to try and shore up.
And again, the Lions have some changes up front too. Andy Stensrud has played a couple of games, but he is not all that experienced. On the other side, a brand new tackle, Therese Jones. Here's an open target. And a BC Lions first down with 24 seconds to go.
The upside heading in at halftime, Adam Rita has pretty good play out of his defense. Linebacking core again, the heart and soul of that defense are playing well. So they're still in the football game at 6-2. It could be worse for Adam Rita and the BC Lions. Get maybe even a field goal attempt out of this drive, and they're right in it going at halftime. They fix their blocking problems. They should be okay.
Jason Claremont turns in a first down. Allen almost picked off. Looking for Claremont again. And Otis Floyd back in the Stampeders lineup had an opportunity.
And here is some protection problems one more time. You know, Otis Floyd has gone on a bunch of blitzes. See James Cotton, number 99. He forces Damon Allen up and really forces the bad throw because Allen has to avoid him and throws it behind Jason Claremont because of it. And protection problems are not always the problem of the offensive line. Sometimes it's that the back is missing his block.
Into the final seconds now, and more pressure on Damon Allen with 10 seconds till halftime.
Well, you know, and Joe Cooper, number 95, he gets a little heat here, but you can see how Calgary is loading it up here. Now, right up at the top there, Sean Millington steps up and takes Otis Floyd, but Joe Cooper gets through. You know, and if they're sending more than the BC Lions can block, then it goes to the receivers. Now it's their responsibility to get open quickly so that Damon Allen has a target. So that's basically, I would believe, what the BC Lions will be talking about at halftime.
And we're very close to that moment now, with this likely being the final play of the first half here at McMahon. And the Lions have punted a lot this afternoon. Tony Martino is earning his paycheck. They have punted on every possession.
And Martino had to take a timeout there because Derek Lewis forgot the special team.
The Lions' only point so far, courtesy of the Stampeders, on a safety touch.
Well, the Lions really last week in their loss versus Saskatchewan generated close to 400 yards of offense, 339 passing for Damon Allen, but only came away with 11 points. And they're struggling in a half of football here in Calgary offensively again. And heading into the playoffs, you certainly don't want to be in a slump offensively.
Here's Antonio Warren. And zeros are on the clock as Warren is dropped by John Williams. So it's close, and that's good news for the Calgary Stampeders, who have 17 straight losses when trailing at halftime. Maybe there's hope today.
Lots of football to be played.
Where am I looking? Right here? Right there. Oh, there you go. All right, thank you. No, I didn't see it.
Okay, fans, we draw your attention
Coach,
to the
it
south end of the
seems a
field
little
where a
odd
special
standing here
draw
after
is about
13
to take place.
seasons talking about playing for pride and just playing for pride. How do you see it, and what do you look for in a game like today?
Well, we see exactly what we're getting. The guys are working hard. You know, they're putting a good effort. The thing we haven't done is we haven't finished a couple of drives. But like I said, BC is an excellent football club. You know, right now we've had a good first half. We want to continue in the second.
Looks like Crandall will be back next season. Is that why you put Ben in, just to see exactly where he's going to fit?
Well, no, like I say, when you look at the whole situation, we just felt if we give Ben a start, and you know, it gives him another opportunity. We know what Marcus can do, and like I say, we're not putting the blame on Marcus because our football team hasn't been good all along. But like I say, Ben's doing some things, so hopefully, like I said, he could have finished some drives, would have been a little further ahead.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck on next time.
The winner of the trip is...
Yeah, Adam, obviously, my first question to him is obviously 12 yards rushing. The ground game seems to be having some problems. It looks like it's miscommunication. Hopefully that's what he's going to tell me, because they're missing cues and all kinds of things. So is that obviously the focus for him, that question?
Color. I hear you there.
Okay, so I'm interrupting both sides now, am I?
Try it again, please. Just yes, both sides. Yeah, because the other time it was working good, you know. Go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome for your halftime show entertainment. You're about to experience some of the sights and sounds of over 500 members of Calgary's marching bands. This group includes members from the Calgary Roundup Band, Stetson Show Band, Bishop Granite Marching Ghosts, Central Memorial Golden Rams, a band of Outriders, and the world-famous Calgary Stampede Show Band. The members of these groups range in age from junior high school, university, and working professionals throughout the city. The bands are performing their selection, Get It On, first to the east side of the stadium, and then to the west. Can be seen performing in parades and various other events throughout southern Alberta and in the Calgary Stampede. And you're all invited to watch these bands perform at the Calgary Stampede Show Band's Spring Concert. Happens May 24th, 2003 in the Pengrove Saddledome. You can find out more information about the bands at www.stampedeshowband.com. Calgary Stampeders would like to thank all the bands for their wonderful performance this afternoon. Let's hear it for Calgary's marching show bands.
What?
Batteries, they're dead.
They're no good. What do you want them for?
Because we just don't want them. Can we ever?
I guess we can't get.
Doing. Good. Yeah.
Rob? Coaches? Coach? Coach?
Hello.
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 Tell me what we do for a living.
You want me on the other side this time? Or not necessarily?
You know what?
Can I go on that?
I really didn't notice.
Does it matter?
I didn't notice, I'm sorry.
Please turn your attention to the 40-yard line where Stampeder Lester Pulpers with today's winner of the Calgary Stampeders Peters Drive-In, Dairyland Kids Club. Congratulations to Stephanie Forrester, the winner of Peters Party Pack for 8. Joining today's Calgary Stampeder Peters Drive-In Dairyland Honorary Water Girl, please welcome Jenna Brackman. And visit the Calgary Stampeders Peters Drive-In Dairyland Kids Club, located in the northwest corner of the concourse, right before every game. Once again, everybody, Stephanie.
Who's this guy right here? The Toque.
Stampeder fans, please check your Stampeder yearbook. If the Intergold manufacturing ad is autographed at number 50.
No, I haven't seen him.
Jay McNeil, the lucky winner of an Intergold fan pack. Waiting prize is reported to the Stampeder office at the South End.
Okay, here he comes. Coach, we're seeing some effects of last week. Your team having a hard time on the ground with only 12 yards rushing. What adjustments need to be made going into the second half?
Well, we need to get the ball up the field, go to play action pass. We threw one play action pass, and we need to, if they're going to stop the run, then they got to get more guys in the box than we have. So we need to get the ball behind those linebackers.
Thanks for the time, Coach.
Go to play action pass. We threw one play action pass. And we need to, if they're going to stop the run, then they got to get more guys in the box than we have. So we need to get the ball behind those linebackers.
Thanks for the time, Coach.
Little bit more play action pass from Damon Allen, and that's when he's at his best. Both quarterbacks had their moments, but Damon Allen off to a very slow start, just 60 yards passing. 133 for Ben Sankey. His percentage looks pretty good.
Allen good on 6 of 14. Stampeders have the lead at halftime, and that's something that hasn't happened to this football team a whole bunch during this season.
Play action can help this offense over the BC Lions.
Second half is underway. Geroy Simon across the 40, broke a tackle there. Turned and tried to find room the other way. It squirted loose. And he should have stayed down. It looks like the Stampeders have come up with the ball.
Well,
hang on, Lions get it back.
Yeah, the Stampeders initially indicated that they had it, but the officials went the opposite direction when they pointed.
Yeah, see, I went for the fake.
You went with the guys in the red shirts. You got to go with the guys in the striped shirts in those situations. Here, the ball's on the ground. No question, it's a fumble. G-Roy Simon thought he had the outside. He didn't know he's going to be caught from behind. The ball goes to the ground. Certainly that's the right call. It is a fumble, but the Lions recovered it.
14 on the return. Let's see what the Lions have got here in the second half. Trailing by 4, beginning at the 40-yard line. Damon Allen for Chris Wright. And that's good for maybe a yard. The ball comes loose again. And Melvin Bradley came up with it, but they are not calling that a fumble either. And look what happened to the BC Lions in the first half. They punted a lot. Martino was busy.
Yeah, if you're on the punt team, you're getting your paycheck. You're earning your money. Because nothing but punts in the first half for the BC Lions. And that's where they're struggling. You know, you heard Adam Rita talk about play action and what it can do for Damon Allen. There's a couple of things. One, it can hold off the defensive line a little bit. So, you know, when we were talking about they were having protection problems up front with the blitzes from Calgary. Well, Adam Rita runs a little more play action pass. That can slow down the defensive line and give Damon Allen maybe another second, maybe 2 seconds to throw the football. And that's really, at times, all you need.
It'll be 2nd and 10 Lions, just nicely underway here in the second half.
Angus Reid's in for Jamie Terrace.
Allen looks to his left. He's got a receiver, and he'll get a first down out of it. Thelwell has his first catch of the afternoon. That's Ryan Thelwell, grabbed quickly by Deshaun Austin.
Deshaun Austin, 33, made the tackle.
Timing pattern to Thelwell, and you can see a little bit of protection here for Damon Allen. He just drops back in there. Sean Millington stays in and makes sure that none of the Calgary linebackers blitz. So Damon Allen, when he gets time to throw, complete a first down there to Ryan Thelwell.
An 11-yard gain.
I think you're going to see Sean Millington 25 right beside Allen for the rest of this game.
To the other side. Another open target. It's the same guy. Thelwell down the sidelines. Frères has him and forced out Ryan Thelwell.
2 parts to it. They fix the protection problem. Sean Millington stays in. They also keep some receivers in tight. Look at the receivers up top, and Sean Millington, he's going to slide over here and pick up James Cotton off the edge. Millington's going to stay right next to Damon Allen. Shore up the protection first. Give your quarterback time to throw the football, and he can do something with it. That's the second completion in a row to Ryan Thelwell.
The first for 11 yards, this for a 44-yard gain down the far side. And this is the Lions' deepest penetration of the ball game, inside the 15 at the 14-yard line, first down. Sean Millington inside the 10 for 5 more.
See, their answer, John, is to get Sean Millington involved in 2 ways, to run the ball a little bit there and also in the protection scheme. They will also bring in Lyle Green like they did on that last play to help out with some blocking. So the Lions' answer at halftime and their adjustment is to go with that bunch formation a little bit, get more protection up front, and then involve the running game.
2nd and 5, Millington, 3 carries for 7 yards. He's been quiet. The longest was his previous carry for 5. Allen with time. This could have been a touchdown. Can it still be? Anderson made the catch, slipped, got up, and didn't quite make it to the end zone. He was thinking, at least he held on to the ball. He was thinking touchdown there.
He can't believe it. He cannot believe it. He had the touchdown. Brett Anderson out to the outside like there's no one there.
Oh, yeah, no. Maybe I can crawl there.
I guarantee you that's the type of play, and everyone's gone through this at some time in their career. There's the type of play that you just dread watching the tapes with the team.
Oh, yeah. I can imagine.
Yeah. They're gonna bring that one and run it back and back. What was the 5-yard line? Jumped up and tackled you?
He got to the 1. Lions will have 3 cracks at it from there. And Sean Millington has it on the first. Sean Millington has his 12th rushing touchdown of the season. His 14th in 2002.
Yeah, and if he starts to have success like this running the ball, as Lyle Green was the lead block, he got some help from Dan Payne, who pulled out and around, and now the protection up front short up a little bit. Millington's involved in that end in the passing game. He gets the ball a couple more times to start this third quarter, and now the Lions are on the roll and on the move.
And into the lead for the first time as
And the convert is good.
Matt Kellett takes the convert home. Here's Millington. There's the goal line. He's across. Lions lead it 9-6.
Hey, buddy, you see Payne, see Big Dan Payne pull around there and hit Alondra Johnson? And I think Lyle Green might have had a nice block as well. Here you go. He's right here. Oh, no, there he is. Oh, he was just... Okay, run it back one more time. Oh, yeah, right in there. He just slides over, yeah. That's pretty good. And he gets up on Alondra Johnson. Where's Alondra Johnson start? Can you run it one more time?
Hey, a scoring drive. That's exciting. How's it going, all right?
14 seasons for Dan Payne. 4 Grey Cup wins. 2 in Toronto. Was with us in '89 in Saskatchewan and BC in 2000.
Ron.
How many straight over 30 is that? 28?
The what? Oh, 28 straight.
Joico, the official hair product supplier of the Stampeders and the Stampeder Outriders. And don't forget your final chance today to purchase your Stampeder Outriders 2003 calendar, sponsored by Cowboys Dance Hall. Available for $5.
Sean Millington into the end zone again for his 12th rushing touchdown of the season.
Yeah, running the ball, you know, one of the reasons that you can start to move the ball a little bit more successfully and help your pass protection is when you get the big guys like Dan Payne and you get them in run blocking situations where they get their pads down and can drive off the football rather than sit back and pass pro.
Big bounce at the 15. This is Antonio Warren. Nice return brewing here as Warren gets out to the 40.
Because that gives those big offensive linemen a chance to go and be aggressive, just like Dan Payne was on the touchdown. To show you one more time, Payne is right here playing that right guard spot. Watch how he pulls around and gets that big body onto Alondra Johnson. Big 57 steps up in the hole. Alondra Johnson tries to fill, and Payne, although he gets pushed to the side, gets Johnson back a couple of yards so that Millington to get in the end zone. Dan Payne, a guy that I like to call Mountain because he's at well over 300 pounds. Of course, he says he lost it. I saw him today in the tunnel. He said to me, I lost a couple, but then I found him again.
Yeah. He got him back.
4 Grey Cups for Dan Payne, 2 in Toronto. Was with us in Saskatchewan in '89, and
6'7", 300 he's listed at, and that's likely not quite true, huh?
And he had the key block on the 6th play of the drive, the Millington play into the end zone. But yeah, he's listed at 300. I think he's a little over that, and closer to 350.
Well, 300 rounds it out nicely.
Well, yeah, but you know, when you look at the program, a lot of times the players have some input in that. I was never shorter than 6 feet. I don't think I've ever made it there.
Until you're retired.
In the program.
Yeah. They'll kick it over again because the Lions were offside. Good decision by the Stampeders to ask for that because McCarty gets out across the 50 with a 32-yard return.
But, John, that's what Adam Rita has done now. So now he's got the adjustments he needed at halftime. And that's a sign of a good coach. It really is. You come in with a game plan, and if the game plan is not working, you have to be able to realize why it's not working and change things up. So Adam Rita goes up and says, here's why it's not working. We haven't given the ball to 25 enough. That's one thing. We give it to him more. Now play action works. And we give our offensive lineman a chance to drive out and hit somebody.
First down for the Stampeders. First possession, second half. Sankey under the cover. He has Wayne McGarity, and he'll come close to a first down. 9 and a little bit there. Derek Lewis making the tackle.
Now you look at the Stamps in the first half. They moved the ball pretty well, but they came away with field goal, field goal. See, and that's their problem. So now Wally Buono's adjustment, along with Jacques Chapdelaine offensively at halftime, had to be once they get inside that 20-yard line. And that's probably what Jacques Chapdelaine worked on. Here's the plays we need to work on and make sure that we finish these drives. We've moved the ball pretty well. Let's finish.
Free play for the Stampeders here on 2nd and 1. They'll give it to Warren and get the first down across the 45.
You know, Jacques Chapdelaine has been under the gun here in Calgary, and he had big shoes to fill in George Cortez. Wally Buono, to his credit, has backed up his young offensive coordinator, and I'll tell you, I know Jacques Chapdelaine quite well. We were teammates at Simon Fraser University way back in the leather helmet era, and Jacques Chapdelaine played in the Canadian Football League. He's a good offensive mind, head coach at Laval.
They get to Sankey for the 5th time.
And you can draw it up any way you want, but you better block the big boys up front. Tyrone Williams having himself a pretty good afternoon here. He's right up here in the top of the line. Tyrone Williams, one-on-one with Jay McNeil, turns him aside and is there. Now, Jacques Chapdelaine, he drew it up like this. Jay, you're a veteran of 9 years. You're going to block one-on-one on number 96 on this play. And that's something that the coach has no control over.
Coming into the game, the Lions only had 22 sacks. 8th spot in the league. Here's one that's almost picked off. Tony Walker should have been able to hang on to the ball.
You know, and that's another one. You know, that's a play that Tony Walker comes and makes a play. And Jacques Chapdelaine, who's taken a ton of heat, can't control that. I mean, he can't throw the football. He certainly isn't catching it. And, you know, talking to how long and hard he's worked all season, he gets here every single day at around 4 in the morning and doesn't leave till after 9, 10 at night. Now, just working long hours doesn't make you a good offensive coordinator, but it's certainly a start, and the work ethic is there, and there's a lot of reasons why this team has struggled. I don't think Jacques Chapdelaine is the one.
Well, personnel is the key reason the Stampeders have struggled this year. Geroy Simon looked to be out of bounds, wasn't quite, but he is now inside the 10, and that's where the Lions will start. BC has a touchdown here in the second half. We'll see if they can add another one. High hope. High hope.
Can you believe that he gets here at 4 in the morning?
I think, you know what, I believe for a long time that football coaches spend way too much time in the office. Oh. Truthfully, I mean,
no. I guess there is a certain point where it becomes overkill. I'm sure.
No, it's just.
No, we're talking that Wellesley was saying that he thinks coaches spend too much time in films and stuff. Yeah.
I mean, I admire their dedication, but
right.
I think somebody says, "Hey, you got to do many, many hours," and so now somebody doesn't actually. You know, I'm not saying Jacques is.
No, I know.
I'm just saying, you know, it's the Dick Vermeil thing.
Yeah,
where he burned himself. I mean, that was the one that everybody noticed. He burned himself out because he had a cot in his office for 3 years in Philadelphia. I'm not really angry about it.
Well, don't be angry.
I'm not angry.
Quit yelling at me.
We're ready for you. When we're done here in Calgary, the TSN Turning Point will be brought to you by Super 8.
I'd like to thank the ushers today, the volunteers from the Escalade Winter Guard. We can all assist the ushers in their efforts to keep field sightlines unobstructed by standing behind the yellow lines of the grandstand rampways while the play is in progress.
So what do you think, pal? Is it time to get the hook out?
Well, Wally Buono said he wouldn't hesitate if Ben Sankey was struggling with the football to put Marcus Crandall back in the game. He's warming up on the sideline. Doesn't have his helmet on just yet.
But it is a nice toque.
But no question that they could easily make the switch, and would.
1st and 10 for the Lions, inside the 10. And there's a breakout for Sean Millington. The running game is working a little bit more effectively for the Lions now.
You see Mountain starts to get have a little more fun up there, you know, because this is the TD. There's right in there is Payne, And Payne in the TD, he gets a chance to get those pads down and goes and throws a nice hit there. And then he comes back in the next series. They start out running the ball again to Millington and pick up pretty good yards. So the big boys up front, Jamie Terrace, Dan Payne, Steve Harden, they get a chance to fire off the football and hit somebody rather than catch those defensive linemen as they come on blitzes, and it gives them a chance to be aggressive rather than passive.
9-yard gain. It'll be 2nd and 1 for the Lions. Into the lead for the first time. It's 9-6 BC. And that should be enough for the first down. The Lions are trying to keep pace with the Blue Bombers, who won earlier today in the great race in the West.
Yeah,
for home field advantage and second spot.
We talked about Millington retiring. Jamie Terrace is another one, and he won't say it unless he means it. So Jamie Terrace is for real, and he said that this will be his last season. They will honor him in the last game of the year on Friday night, a game that we will be at. What a career Jamie Terrace has had, 16 years in Canadian football, and he came into the league as a receiver.
Played a little fullback in the early years, too.
Slid into the fullback spot and then just kept moving up.
Allen has a target. Second catch on the far side of the field for Alfred Jackson.
You know, and he's been the mentor to a bunch of players. Steve Harden, one of them, who's in his 5th year, all 5 with the BC Lions. He's the nominee. He's the nominee for the outstanding offensive lineman, and
we talked about Carl Kidd earlier as nominee in 2 categories.
Yeah, and Harden learned a lot of his game from Jamie Terrace. You know, and when you have a 16-year veteran that can bring along the young offensive lineman, it won't be long before they're nominated for awards.
Allen has time. He hasn't taken off yet. Ball comes loose after he was down, and there's a helmet on the turf down there. It belongs to Ty Rogers.
Well, those big boys up front continue to battle. Now Tyrone Rogers got to go gather up the headgear. Hey, that popped off right as he hit Damon Allen. Of course, Damon Allen had James Cotton pushing him back in the middle of the back. So Tyrone Rogers basically tackled Allen and Cotton, his teammate.
I always think that would hurt when that helmet comes off.
Yeah, that hurts. That hurts. That'll leave a mark.
Good return right out to midfield, and that's where the Stampeders will begin. Who will be at quarterback? Will it be Crandall or Sankey? Crandall's got his hat on. We'll be right back. I can just feel that thing just going right up over the ears. I don't know, but when I played safety for the Silver Heights Spartans, I wasn't all that tenacious, you know.
You were a safety?
Yeah. I was a safety. We won a city championship, though. Would you mind? And dump that out. It's getting a little cold. Do you want a coffee?
No, okay.
Okay, here we go. Marcus Crandall.
And here we go, Darce. Nice try. Now here's Mark. We're going to cheer for him. But in the stands, he's got a BC Lions jersey on. What's up with that? And he misses. He'll have to go to season ticket games. Way to go, Todd and Darcy and Mark. And thank you all for taking part in the QR77 Calgary Finger Park Quarterback Challenge.
How are you doing, Mac? You having a good afternoon? Yeah. Well, yeah. This is where we're earning our bucks up here. I thought we. Thanks, pal.
All right, everybody in section J. Ralph the Dog is going to try and slingshot some t-shirts into your section. So if you want a t-shirt, stand up.
Welcome back to McMahon, and for now, Marcus Crandall will quarterback. Ben Sankey will observe.
Look at the quarterback list that have gone through the Calgary Stampeders organization. Doug Flutie, Jeff Garcia, now with the San Francisco 49ers. Dave Dickinson may be back in the Canadian Football League before long.
Although things are opening up in Miami a little bit. Antonio Warren makes the fake look good. And Crandall's first toss is complete for a first down out at the 40.
And that was, those quarterbacks that you saw was a big reason that the Calgary Stampeders went 13 consecutive seasons in the playoffs, and what a decade they had.
Winning record like that.
3 cups.
6 appearances.
3 of the 5 Grey Cups that the Calgary Stampeders have won. Wally Buono has been the coach. Marcus Crandall, the most valuable player last year in that game.
14-yard gain, first down Calgary. Marcus Crandall.
Penalty flag is down.
And he missed Travis Moore there.
You mentioned it earlier, John, about Marcus Crandall and Ben Sankey and what may happen next year, because it's an interesting story. And, you know, Sankey, when I talked to him before the game, said, you know, he wants to be patient. He's a free agent at the end of the year. He wants to see what his opportunities
Offside.
are.
BC 96. First down repeated.
But I got the sense, and I'm reading between the lines a little bit, but I got the sense that Ben Sankey would not sign a contract here in Calgary if Marcus Crandall was still here as the starting quarterback. I don't think that he would be comfortable coming in, and
he doesn't want to fight for that
job.
He wants the team. Sankey wants the team.
You know, and when you talk to Wally Buono,
Scott Diebert there.
Yeah, I think he's got enough. When you talk to Wally Buono about that quarterback situation and how he's always groomed it, he said it's really changed now. I mean, when you look through the league, right now is the first time in a long time that the quarterbacks in the backup position are starting to show what they can do and starting to show that we might have a pretty good quarterback crop coming up. I mean, you think of Sankey, Bart Hendricks, and the 3 in Edmonton. Of course, Pat Barnes in
Winnipeg will be a starter soon, will he not? I mean,
Kevin Glenn in Saskatchewan. I mean, it looks like a good quarterback crop coming along.
Antonio Warren on first down. You know, and it takes a while to create that crop of quarterbacks. I mean, you plant some seeds and then you watch the whole program grow.
Yeah, and
team to team.
And Wally Buono had done such a nice job through the 13 years of whenever one went down or one moved to the NFL or one moved to another football team in Canada, Marcus Crandall, Doug Flutie, whoever it was, there was another one behind him. And, you know, Damon Allen's coming back. He wants to play another 3-4 years.
This will be second down. Marcus Crandall looked for Travis Moore.
But it is something you have to develop. And when I talked to Wally Buono about the quarterback situation, you know, he said it's a different time now. I mean, we took a while there where there was a drought in quarterbacks. There was about a 5-6 year period where both in the National Football League and in the CFL, there was a bit of a drought. And quarterbacks were hard to come by, quality quarterbacks. And now we see that crop when we saw that list and all the backups in the league that now the problem is maybe there's going to be too many next year. That's a good problem
I don't think that's a problem.
No, it's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Here's Mark McLaughlin from the 29. And he's 3 for 3. Stampeders are back to even with the BC Lions, right back where we began. Even on the board, it's 9-9 now.
Good story, huh?
Oh, we've got stories. We may need overtime to get all the stuff in we've prepared up here. I mean, the Stampeders score a touchdown. The tribute to Blue is going to be something.
I actually didn't, you know.
What?
I didn't prepare that. I just did that one.
Well, we've done it about 4 times in the bar.
Yeah.
Lions scrimmage from their 35, first down.
Wally Buono has one final game this season. After today, it'll be against the Argos on Sunday. First down for the Lions, and out across the 40, the ball squirted loose.
Well,
Stampeders think they might have a shot at this. We'll hang on and wait for the official word. I don't think so. It'll be second down.
Yeah, the officials are basically marking the spot that Chris Wright went down, so BC will keep the football. Well, we've switched games because the game next Sunday now means so much to the Toronto Argonauts. Calgary will be there. It'll be their last game of the season. But if Toronto can win, it won't be their last.
No, the Argonauts will be in the playoffs with a win over Calgary at Skydome on Sunday. So we thought we should be there just in case. A little shovel pass, and this will be a positive play for Sean Millington.
How about the veteran, Jamie Terrace? We talked about his last year in the CFL, and he makes this play. I mean, this is Jamie Terrace right here. He's going to come out and get the key block. If you don't have this block right there, there's no play. And that block from Jamie Terrace, one-on-one on James Cotton, springs him. Watch the center, number 60, come out 99. Kick out block, opens up that nice running lane for Sean Millington, and they got a play.
A 23-yard gain. Lions are on the move again. They've scored a touchdown in the second half. And here's Millington chugging away. It took 3 Stampeders to get him down, including safety Greg Freres.
Gain of nearly 10.
One more time for Jamie Terrace, folks, and this is going to become the Terrace drive here in a second in front of Damon Allen right here. Guess what? He's got the kickout block one more time.
Another 14 yards. Another Lions first down. Allen hot now. He has Alfred Jackson inside the 15 before he's brought down by Deshaun Austin.
Well, this time Damon Allen has time to throw the football. It's a timing pattern. He doesn't need a whole bunch. Terrace takes his man, though, and Jamie Terrace continues to dominate up there in front of Damon Allen. He steps in, slides protection. He's got everybody taken care of up front, and that allows Allen to throw it out to Alfred Jackson, and now they're in scoring range. Got the Terrace drive going.
17 yards. Damon Allen to Alfred Jackson. And Millington again. He's inside the 10. Melvin Bradley made the stop there, number 74. Floyd was also in on the tackle. What's amazing to me is you look at the BC Lions preparing for this game for 6 days, right?
Yeah.
They come out in the first half, can't move the football. They go in, Adam Rita has a little chat with the team at halftime, and in about 8 minutes, they figure out all the problems and come out, drive for a touchdown, and threaten to score one more here.
Well, and that's where you're, as a coach, that's where you make your money. You make your money at halftime with adjustments, and they've made some good ones.
2nd and 5. Allen has the target. G-Roy Simon just missed that time.
But Allen had tons of time to throw the football.
And the third quarter is complete.
The end of the third quarter, the Lions still have an opportunity to hit the Stampeders' end zone, and it's 9-9 at McMahon.
All right, please direct your attention to the north end zone where it's
Here, not that one, don't use that one.
And today's contestant.
How you doing? Having any fun yet?
I'm trying it now. It appears to be working now.
And an autographed Stampeder ball cap.
Okay.
All courtesy of WashJet. Now we need your help. You are the air traffic controllers, and the closer Kevin gets to the ticket jacket, let him know what cheering.
Yeah, it's good.
Kevin gets to the ticket jacket. Boom! As loud as you
Boy,
can.
that's a good-looking camera cart.
After Ralph is done spinning our contestant Kevin around. Ready.
What do you mean? Yeah, field goal, I think. 3rd down, 5.
3rd and 5.
Boy, did Allen ever have a lot of time back there on that G-Roy Simon throw. I don't think those guys got off the line of scrimmage up front.
Yeah, it was about 2 yards too much for Simon. How's old Matt Kellett done?
Like on the season, you mean?
Yeah, just lately more than anything. You know, every kicker in the league has had a turn at messing up this year, right? Or slumping is basically it. He 1 for 2 last week.
Number 14, Matt Kellett, lining up for a field goal attempt of 17 yards.
For now, though, David, they will settle for a field goal try from Matt Kellett. This will be a little chip shot, but he has struggled lately with 4 misses in his last 6 tries.
Yeah, and of course, when you look back in the season, he had the nightmare game where he missed 4 field goals, including a game-winning attempt, and it cost them a football game.
It's been a tough year on the kickers. Mark McLaughlin here in Calgary went through a horrible slump. Paul Osbaldiston has missed a couple of game-winning field goals through the season. Terry Baker didn't have a great day yesterday. But Kellett has this one, and the Lions have the lead one more time. It's 12-9 here at McMahon Stadium. What did Baker miss yesterday? 3 or 4?
I don't remember.
But I mean, he struggled yesterday, right?
I don't remember Baker's. Yeah, he did miss a few, didn't he? Yep.
It's a close ball game on the scoreboard, and here are some numbers to ponder.
56 yards rushing has been the biggest difference in one of the adjustments for the Lions in the second half.
5 quarterback sacks by BC. All to Ben Sankey, and now there's a new quarterback at the controls for the Calgary Stampeders. Marcus Crandall is into the game. Ready for the Lions kickoff after the Kellett field goal. Antonio Warren out across the 40 to the 42 and stopped there after a 22-yard return. Off to Vancouver for our final installment of Wendy's Friday Night Football. Rough Riders in BC still trying to figure out where they will be when the playoffs start in 2 weeks.
Yeah, and you got to think for the Lions, that game in front of their home crowd, that they've won 5 straight now. BC would want a little redemption after losing to Saskatchewan last week. Right down to the wire, they took that one. They had a 2-point convert attempt to try and push it to overtime and were unsuccessful.
Get upfield, Donnie!
Don Blair makes the catch.
You know, the positive,
Marcus Crandall.
Positive thing, John, for Adam Reed, I think right now is heading into the playoffs is the play of his linebacking core. We talked about that in the first half, and his defense in general. He's got a nice rotation going on up front as well, in front of those linebackers, and that's Cameron Legault, Noah Cantor. Legault with 5 sacks coming in. The Lions with 5 sacks in this game. So that front 7 with the rotation, Tyrone Williams, Brent Johnson, and Herman Smith. Then they have the active linebackers behind them. That keeps them all fresh and active up front.
Antonio Warren on 2nd and 5. There's the first down easily across midfield and into BC territory.
So you can rotate in that defensive line. You get 5 guys that are coming in. That can really help your linebacking core because they're fresh and they take their offensive linemen up front, and that frees up your linebackers to be able to flow to the football and make all the tackles. And that's how it's got to work. It always works in progression, and it's a team game. If the D linemen do their job and eat up all the blocks, the linebackers play that much better.
Gain of 11 for Antonio Warren. First down Stampeders near midfield. Quick release from Crandall. Kamal Peterson made the catch, but there was pressure coming.
Yeah, this is case in point, John. That pressure was coming from Derek Lewis, and guess who went out there to cover? Legault and Lewis come off the edge. They're going to come and provide the pressure. Now, the Lions are one of the few teams that can get away with this. Come with the halfback blitz here and have your linebacker, Carl Kidd, go out and cover the receiver, Kamal Peterson. And he goes out and makes the tackle on Peterson, holds him for a short gain.
Gain of 3, 2nd and 7 here. Crandall unloads in a hurry, far side. No catch, big hit on Wayne McGarity. That was Toya Jones.
And there's another linebacker that's active enough to go out and play corner. But Brendan Ian Badejo
Calgary 81.
See those
penalties declined, third down.
See the linebackers all up in the line. There's Baron Simpson dropping. Look how far Brendan Iambadejo out here gets. And then Toya Jones also linebackers out there playing corner right now. So athletic linebackers allows you to do things defensively that a lot of teams can't do. And that's like send halfback blitzes like Derek Lewis.
Another drive stalls. No touchdowns for the Stampeders at McMahon so far this afternoon. Duncan O'Mahony in and standing at his 45. Good kick by O'Mahony as G-Roy Simon is chased by He retreated.
What a hit.
And there wasn't much room to run down there, but a big hit on the return.
Carl Kidd on Aldi Henry.
7 on the return, 1st and 10 Lions deep in their own zone when we return.
Boston Pizza's place to play food for thought.
You got a shot at Jason Claremont. He's not coming back.
What happened to him?
Hip pointer, yeah.
Did you see the hit, buddy? Where is it? There he is. There's Aldi Henry. And he gets him on the way back. Yeah, on the way back. And wow!
Now, Lawrence gets the answer wrong. You guys here in the West get nothing.
Okay.
And everybody on the East side gets pizza bread, all right? And you can present your game day ticket at Boston
There's
Pizza
Jason.
for the next 3 days for that free pizza bread.
No problem.
Here is your question. Name the last team to win the Grey Cup in their own stadium, Lawrence. Is it A, the Calgary Stampeders, B, the BC Lions, or C, the Edmonton Eskimos?
Yeah, absolutely.
Calgary Stampeders?
Absolutely.
What was it this time? 6-2 this time?
Yeah. See if they sputter on this drive.
Suffice it to say, Lawrence, you're wrong. It's the BC Lions. They did so in 1994. You guys in the West get nothing thanks to Lawrence. Everybody on the East side, you now get free. Courtesy of Boston Pizza. Thanks to Lawrence getting the answer wrong. Everybody say thanks, Lawrence.
Big hit on the return. Carl Kidd with a nice block.
Well, yeah, he does it on special teams as well. Aldi Henry, number 9. Watches G-Roy Simon comes back. He comes here. Look out. Here comes Carl Kidd. And he puts a huge hit on Aldi Henry. He wasn't kidding around at all on that one.
That was cute. On first down, a big hole opens up for Lyle Green, number 28.
You know, big hits like that on the special teams get your team fired up, and then you see how Lyle Green took off on that first down, hit that hole full speed. That gets your whole team fired up because everybody notices hits like that from Carl Kidd. See if they can continue with this momentum.
13 yards for Green on that. 232 total yards for the Lions offense. Lions keep it on the ground, and Sean Millington carries that time for 6 yards. Melvin Bradley with the tackle.
One guy that loves to hit is Jason Claremont, and their rookie nominee, and it looks like he will be out. He's got a hip pointer. He's not on the field, obviously, for this series, so
he will be out for the afternoon.
He's gone for the rest of the afternoon. He's got the hip pointer, and here's a guy we talk about hits. He loves to hit. That's part of his game. Have to do it without him the rest of the way.
Damon Allen looks at 2nd and 4. And Lyle Green will provide the yardage necessary. Second carry on this run for Green.
Calgary defense, when you look at their season, they'll say one of our problems early on was stopping the run. In fact, when you look at the losses, 150 yards basically rushing the football. And in the 5 wins they had, they did a nice job against the run. The problem was they didn't do a nice job against the run enough this season, and that put them in a bind.
Well, in the early going, they didn't have the personnel up front to get it done.
You're right.
But they've added Melvin Bradley, and Cotton came back.
Oh,
Damon Allen. A little magic there, got it away. He won't get the first down out of this completion at the 40, but a little Damon Allen magic as he completes that for Sean Millington.
They tried to do the double move with Alfred Jackson on the outside. Damon Allen's going to pump fake him here, bam. And if there's that pocket is not collapsing, Allen has a touchdown. Because Alfred Jackson had made the double move. Watch this. Here's a little fake and gone. He had Deshaun Austin guessing. He is wide open. The pocket collapsed and Damon Allen couldn't get it out of there. Alfred Jackson after the play too, he just put his hands over his face and went, oh, we had him. You had him set up. A play like that, you try and set up for 3 or 4 plays. But once you do it once, that's it. So you only get the one crack at that double move. And if you can't make it happen, then you're not going to fool the defensive back again.
See, as an ex-defensive back, I wonder why you get so excited about situations like that, because those guys are your brethren out there.
I'm not supposed to show any bias either way. That was
but clearly, Deshaun Austin will remember this.
Well, that was some move by Alfred Jackson. Look at that little curl fake, and the way he goes. But Deshaun Austin's got to go into that huddle, stick his head in there after a play like that and say, hey, you big guys up front, I really appreciate you collapsing the pocket for me like that, because if you don't get a pass rush on Allen, I'm watching the back of Alfred Jackson as he goes into the end zone. That's one of those cases where the defensive back will walk up to the D lineman and just give him the old pat on the back and say, hey, thanks guys, you bailed me out.
Alberta Boot Company, proud supporters of Stampeder football.
170 yards for Allen so far. He's played with a little more confidence in the second half. Another BC first down here. And that stuff. Londra Johnson has Lyle Green all wrapped up.
Oh, did he hit that hole coming downhill? You know, that was a nice play by Londra Johnson, but Allen still trying to establish a bit of a running game with Lyle Green. He had the big play to start this series. And again, this has got to be a concern in some ways for the BC Lions and Adam Rita. Just their inconsistency over the last 2 weeks moving the football.
Yeah, particularly when you look at their record over the last 10 games, 8 wins and just 2 losses. Big hit on Anderson cutting across.
And a big hit on Damon Allen. I mean, there's hits, there's people all down all over the field. Otis Floyd is coming on a blitz, and so is Jason Bray. There's one, and here's Otis Floyd up at the top. They're both coming now. Sean Millington right here. He's got to make a quick decision. He decides on Bray, steps out, and Floyd hits Damon Allen right in the mouth. And because of that blitz, Greg Frere's back here. He knew that he could gamble and come right up and take a shot at Brett Anderson, and he lays him out.
Anderson is in for Claremont. Otis Floyd with a nice play there. Back into the Stampeders lineup after missing last week.
7 o'clock Regina's here at Bank Stadium.
There was a lot of leather flying around there.
8:25 to go at McMahon Stadium. The final game of 2002 right here. I can't see who that is either.
That's Brett Anderson.
Think so?
I thought it was Brett Anderson.
No, I don't think so.
Or maybe it's
not
AJ.
Brett Anderson.
Maybe it's AJ.
No, there's a double number.
AJ either.
It's not Anderson either because it's a double number. We've narrowed that down.
It's 20, or maybe it's Lyle Green.
Could be Lyle Green.
I thought it was the hit E, but apparently not.
Well, there's 2 numbers there, and
that's a great look there, Mac. That end zone's cool. It's a good hit. See, but Greg Freres can't.
But that's not the injury.
No, but Greg Freres can't make. He can't make that commitment without the blitz coming like that. Can you? Okay, go ahead. Yep. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Grabs his hamstring. What? Yeah. 2 inside receivers out.
Latest BC Lion injury is G-Roy Simon, number 81. You can see him in behind a crowd there at the Lions bench.
Here he is right here. He doesn't really have any contact. Trying to get inside, and he just sort of gets caught in the carpet there, right at the C. And look at Greg Frères on this hit, though. Greg Frères can commit like that because of the blitz. And he knows that Damon Allen has to throw it right away because he's coming downhill. If Damon Allen gets time to pump fake him, Greg Frères is in trouble. That's a case of the defensive line working together with the secondary.
Another punting situation for the Lions. And there'll be no return the far side for Antonio Warren with 8:17 to go. The Lions have a 3-point lead on the Calgary Stampeders. Nothing on the line for Calgary. The Lions are trying to hang on to a good opportunity to finish second in the West and host a playoff game. NHL on TSN continues on Tuesday nights. San Jose at Detroit. Champion Red Wings against the Sharks. You're off to play hockey tonight, aren't you? You got a game in Vancouver?
Yeah, we have a little beer league game.
Yeah, I heard. Hey, 4 goals on the season. Way to go, pal.
Now, you know I haven't brought that up many times.
No, just over dinner. Tipped away, and Crandall.
My wingers
couldn't connect there.
My wingers are getting a little impatient, though.
Well, Steve Martin apparently hasn't scored all season long, so I hope you've set him up tonight on the left side.
He's one of our stats guys for those for the entire country who don't know who Steve Martin is. But he's getting a little frustrated as my winger. But Eric Carter.
So am I, as a matter of fact, but that's another story. It'll be 2nd and 10 Stampeders. And we'll move on to the serious stuff now.
Yeah.
Or back to it. Crandall pump fake. Looking deep. And about 10 yards too far for Wayne McGarity. Well, it's been that kind of a year for Crandall in so many ways after the way he picked up the Stampeders and carried them through the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
And through to the Grey Cup.
But, John, I like his thought. I mean, Marcus Crandall, what he was thinking there is why not go to McGarity down the field and why not try and test Toya Jones, who's out there playing corner from a guy who's basically a linebacker. So why not take a shot at it deep? Just didn't hook up.
Chris Wright still standing as he tiptoes down the far sideline. A 28-yard return after a 49-yard punt. Lions have the ball back, 1st and 10 when we return.
Okay, our 7-11 scoring drive was unsuccessful earlier this game, but fans that cheer the loudest in section T as in Tom get a free whiskey with a voucher for 1 free Slurpee courtesy of 7-Eleven.
Well, I hope Martin heard that one. Now it worked.
Are you going to surprise me with any more?
What? Well, you got the 4 goals, haven't you?
I did. That's true.
All pretty ones.
Winnipeg won. Hamilton lost. That's updated, obviously, right? Winnipeg.
So the Ticats are done, right? They're finished.
No.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
They got the bye the final week. You've got the score there somewhere, right? 2002 season ends 1 week from today, but if it ended this afternoon after all games were completed, here's what it would look like.
You see when you look at the top, though, there, Toronto, 14 points. Now with the Hamilton loss, they lost to Winnipeg 28-7 earlier today. Toronto now with a win can move ahead of Hamilton, take second, and Saskatchewan still may be the crossover team. It doesn't look like Winnipeg can cross over, but Winnipeg still could lose the chance to host the game if they lose to Edmonton in the last week, and BC can win this one and their next game versus Saskatchewan. So
it's still a few things to be decided heading into our final weekend. Here's Damon Allen, first run of the afternoon. Looking for a block, but there's a flag down on the far side, and Allen is dropped at the 32. Now, because the Argonauts have a chance to make the playoffs, we'll shift from the game we had scheduled, which was Ottawa in Montreal, to Toronto at Skydome, and see if the Argonauts can make a miracle run to the playoffs.
Oh yeah, and that Montreal-Ottawa game, I mean, Montreal is locked up first. They've had first locked up for a while, so Ottawa's out of the playoffs, so that one is a big one for Toronto if you want to join us.
Yeah, a reason to be there, obviously. The Argos shooting for a playoff spot.
There's a number to call to get your tickets.
And with a decent opportunity to get there when you look at the team that they'll play against, the Stampeders, right out of the playoffs and playing out the string next Sunday for sure.
Number 25, Sean Millington with the carry.
They are not finished here this afternoon, down by 3 points to the Lions.
Sean Millington's been involved in a big way in the second half, and it's been a big difference for the Lions, and they've been able to put some drives together. And you saw that last run, the penalty was against Calgary, so that last run by Damon Allen stood, and there's where Millington and Allen work together. Millington getting the hard yards inside, but now if Damon Allen ever wants to go to a play-action fake to Sean Millington, now the defensive line really have to bite on it.
Lions have scored one touchdown in the second half. Threatening again as Allen looks deep. Long toss. No catch, and he was out of bounds anyway with Austin covering on Alfred Jackson.
See, that time now, remember when Alfred Jackson made that double move, the curl and go move on Deshaun Austin and kind of fooled him a few series back? Well, now Alfred Jackson's just going to straight try and run by him, and Deshaun Austin's in pretty good position on the inside. And that would have been out of bounds anyway. But
yeah, he ran him out of field there.
The double move for Deshaun Austin, he's not going to bite on that anymore.
Kellett made his first from 17. This spotted at the 36. And Kellett is 2 for 2. So the Lions widen the margin to 6 points.
Lions 15, Calgary Stampeders 9.
It was week 7 that Adam Rita walked the sideline for the first time. That was a game versus the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. They won that one and have been on a roll ever since, outscoring their opponents. Damon Allen's played better. And maybe the takeaway category is the biggest one. I mean, 42 takeaways in 10 games.
Yes, 21 interceptions.
You know, when Steve Barato had the defense and was in control of the team, they had managed just 9 takeaways in 6 games. Now, that's not necessarily Steve Barato's fault, but whatever Adam Rita did to push the right buttons and get things going, he's got the defense playing well. And 42 takeaways, when you consider that 4.2 takeaways per game, that's the difference between winning and losing. And they've won 8 of those 10.
But still, some concern after last week's loss and a few giveaways against the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
Well, last week was the first time that the trend actually flipped around. They had 4 or 5 turnovers, I believe, and they only generated 1. So it was the first time under Adam Rita that giveaway takeaway category kind of flip-flopped on them.
And a little worrisome here for the fact that the Lions have not exactly dominated this football game, although they do lead it by 6 points right now, with 5:16 to go here in the final quarter. Wayne McGarity out to the 40, stops and tossed back to about the 38.
You remember 2 years ago, right here in Calgary, BC Lions started the season 2-0, lost 4 straight, and Greg Mons stepped aside. They finished 8-10 under Steve Barato,
And Barretto came on to take them all the way to the Grey Cup.
Won it right here. McMahon Stadium, beating the Montreal Alouettes that year.
Well, you talked about the number of coaches we've seen in BC in the time that Wally Buono has run things here in Calgary. It's an interesting story, isn't it?
Yeah, 8 different coaches.
That's Scott Diebert. Second carry of the game.
You know, so that's something that I'm sure that Adam Rita sort of feels good about, is that when they made the change in 2000, it really turned the team around, similar to what it's doing this year, and the team has turned around and they've made the playoffs, and now it's a matter of being hot at the right time.
Second down. Nice fake by Crandall. Can't get away. There was great pursuit there from 2 BC Lions, led by Carl Kidd again.
Yeah, Carl Kidd, but Tyrone Williams started it. Carl Kidd finished it. And Tyrone Williams is having a very good game right now. I'll tell you, he's right up in here. And watch how after the play action, he just slow plays this. Tyrone Williams, he steps in, he sees play action, now just slow plays. He just has to buy time so his linebacker, Carl Kidd, got a little more speed, can come up there and make the play. But Tyrone Williams just strung it along until Carl Kidd would come in, and he is having himself an afternoon. And agreed with me there, didn't he?
He did. Doesn't miss much of what you have to say. Duncan O'Mahony, Calgary's top Canadian in 2002, sails another beauty inside the 20. Chris Wright, who was out long before he stopped running, 12 on the return.
A 49-yard punt for Duncan O'Mahony.
Mark McLaughlin has hit the field goals.
Calgary has not been able to finish drives. When Sean Millington got involved in the second half, BC moved the ball much more successfully. 6 sacks for the Lions. Tyrone Williams, a big part of that up front. He's demanding the double team, and he's been involved and in the backfield a bunch. And because of that, the Stampeders have been going backwards for 77 yards. Millington, a big part of the second half success for BC, although they'd like more success when it comes to the points on the board.
That's Lyle Green, number 28.
Brought down by Otis Boyd, number 35, after a gain of 2.
You know, and the Calgary defense, led by Alondra Johnson, has really done their thing. You know, they've given up some yardage, but it's been in between the 20s for the most part, and that mostly in the second half. So they've got it close enough that Calgary's in striking distance.
And again, Johnson is the defensive player of the year for the Calgary Stampeders, leading the team in tackles with 67. It's Wendy's CFL Live from Calgary, 3 minutes to go.
Hey, boys. How's it going?
Hey there.
Yeah.
Representing the Calgary Colts and Bantam football, Ken Toon.
Yeah. It is a great story.
It's an interesting one.
We just slid it in there.
We couldn't really get into it.
There's a sponsorship issue.
Calgary Colts and Calgary Bantam football, thank you for your support.
What do you guys think of the game?
Yeah, a lot of big picture stuff up here.
The saddest part of the afternoon is Blue is retiring. No work at all. Yeah, it's tough to go out when you haven't had a run.
Do horses have hamstrings? Does anyone? Yeah. No. Was it? Was it a jump out of your seat one? Oh. Did he? Oh boy.
Stampeders are playing out the string on home turf this afternoon. They have one game after this. Alondra Johnson has never missed the playoffs in his CFL career, and he's getting an early vacation this year, but still leading this Calgary Stampeder defense. Into the final 3 minutes, Allen looking at 2nd and 7. Anderson makes the catch, and he's up and gone. Deshaun Austin can't catch him. Now are they calling him down way back?
Greg Frères thought he was down and is still complaining that he thought he was down.
It looks like a 77-yard touchdown to me.
Well, Greg
that
Frères,
makes up for the opportunity he had earlier. Remember when he tripped over the 5-yard line?
Well, Greg Frères, yeah, absolutely. That makes up for it. Greg Frères jumped it, and I think in the opinion of the officials that he was playing the ball. Look at number 12 right in the middle of your screen. He's going to jump this pattern. Looks like he plays the football. Now, does he touch Brett Anderson when he's down there?
Can't tell if he touched him from that angle.
You know, I think
Anderson wisely gets up and goes.
Wait a minute.
By contact.
There you go. They changed it. They just changed their mind.
There you go, and Anderson has missed 2 opportunities this afternoon to get to the end zone.
Well, I think that right hand from Greg Frères just was right in behind there. Look at the right arm. As Anderson goes down, really, Greg Frères has that right hand on the shoulder pad and tags him down at that point. But the official that made the call that it was a catch and a run was right in behind. He's back here, the back judge. So he's looking and thinking that Frères was just playing the football.
So instead of a 77-yard touchdown, it's a 20-yard gain and a first down.
Jock, catch or no catch, run or no run, what's up?
That was a silly question.
Like I thought the receiver would go any other way.
Yeah.
Matt and Chris, my thought here would be, do the Lions have concerns offensively?
Second down and 6, Lions.
There's the problem up front again as Melvin Bradley gets through to sack Damon Allen.
Chris, did you see some of what I saw in the first half with protection problems from the guys up front?
Well, there's one brand new player out there. Number 54, Jerice Jones, playing at left tackle. Tony Martino has been busy for the Lions this afternoon. 1:46 to go. Still a 6-point game. McGarity out across the 20 to the 25.
You know, the good news, I guess, for the Lions, who between these two teams are the only team going to the playoffs, is the play of their defense. And that linebacking core, is there a better one, guys?
It is first and 10, Calgary at the Stampeder 27.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, Winnipeg has the great run stopping. They're number 1 against the run, and they're great against the run.
Well, Matt's mentioning everyone just in case he bumps into somebody at the Grey Cup. Right, Matthew?
First and 10, Calgary at the 37.
Well, let's get nutty.
Crandall in trouble.
That's not a bad thought, Chris. I mean, you want to take a look at guys. You got 2 games that don't mean anything in the standings. You know basically what Marcus Crandall and Ben Sankey can do. Darnell Kennedy looked great in the preseason. It's been their third team quarterback since Sankey arrived, and maybe Wally Buono, something.
Well, what he wants to do is have Sankey back next year, but Sankey is hedging on the bet because he is a free agent at this point in time. Well, and I think Sankey's just looking at his options, and that's what free agency is about. He wants a team to quarterback next year.
Yeah, and maybe it's a situation here in Calgary that Marcus Crandall or Ben Sankey, whoever is here, has to wait and see which one of these quarterbacks show up where. I mean, you look at Barnes in Winnipeg. Barnes, a free agent coming up this season. Got a couple that can play in Saskatchewan.
And a lot of people think Barnes can play, and a lot of people like Chris Schultz think Kevin Glenn's pretty good. I do too, Chris.
Yeah, and so where do those guys end up? Go.
Travis Moore comes up with a big reception for the Stampeders, and they're not finished yet with 1:05 to go. It's only a 6-point game.
Not many teams, guys, can do this. This is basically a stunt because the linebackers for the Lions, we talk so much about them. Look at 17 off one corner and 39 off the other. Those are two halfbacks, Derek Lewis and Tony Walker. They're coming off the edge because the linebackers can cover receiver.
Crandall to his left. He's got McGarity coming back to the ball. Travis Moore, Glenn, 999 yards.
Oh boy, needs that one more yard for 1,000. And Marcus Crandall's got things rolling. He may just get it now. Crandall took that big hit when they sent both the halfbacks, Derek Lewis and Tony Walker, but he completed that ball up to Travis Moore. That got him going.
So the Stampeders still with an opportunity at the Lions 34. Crandall didn't start, but he may have a big finish.
There's 1,000.
Travis Moore is over 1,000 for the 4th straight year.
Middle guy, Travis Moore, right here. And he's just the checkoff guy. He lets everybody run deep, take the coverage with them, and turn around and get his 1,000-yard season.
Second down. Touchdown, Calgary! All right, one last gallop for Blue as Camille Loud finds a way to get to the end zone on a nice toss from Marcus Crandall.
It may be Blue's last run, but it comes at a good time. Kamal Peterson finds the end zone. Calgary has this one all tied up.
Marcus Crandall in relief of Ben Sankey. Stamps are in the lead with 33 seconds to go. Nothing on the line for Calgary. But there's been a little explosion here. All in good fun, folks. No panic here. We can't see the field at this point.
Yeah, the field is completely covered for us right now.
But there's Blue. There's our champion.
Blue gets out of there.
After 10 years as the touchdown horse.
And
Blue is retiring.
Flashbacks of the Fog Bowl here is the celebration. They shot off some fireworks and stuff, and now all the smoke has come into and that's right in front of our location. So that we're right up in here.
No, we're down a little farther.
I'll tell you something.
We're down a little farther.
We're doing the rest of the game by braille here. We're just kind of looking down here and thinking that's right in front of the booth there. It just comes around the corner. They got pretty excited when Kamal Peterson found the end zone right here. Hitch pass, and Toya Jones playing corner just missed the tackle. Kamal Peterson's in there. He dives at the end. Blue makes his run, and now we're hoping that the fog lifts.
Well, Blue is heading for greener pastures at the end of this season.
Well, yeah, everybody has to go to pasture every now and then.
And Karen Drake will have a new mount next year. One more look at a great effort. Marcus Crandall.
Yeah, and you got to give the Calgary Stampeders credit. They have not given up in this game defensively. They've hung around, and now they have the 1-point lead. Marcus Crandall, in relief of Ben Sankey, has moved the football, and he's found a way to get it in the end zone and give his team a lead. And
Kamau Peterson has his 6th touchdown of the year. All right, well done, Blue. One last touchdown run here.
Great career for the touchdown horse.
Damon Allen trying to get close enough with 21 seconds on the clock to hammer home a field goal and give the Lions a win and keep the Lions in solid position to take that second spot in the Western Division. The Bombers are currently there behind Edmonton. The Eskimos have a lock on top spot with their win on Friday night.
And John, a win in overtime works too for BC.
No catch, far side. 12 seconds to go.
A win in overtime works for BC as well, but they need to get another probably 20, 30 yards, and then they may have a chance to punt for a single to try and get the extra point to get into overtime. But in order to do that, they need to get the football up around the 45-yard line of the Calgary Stampeders, and they're currently at their own 45.
This is second down BC, 12 seconds on the clock. Damon Allen needs some yards, and he one-hopped that for his receiver with 7 seconds to go. It'll be third down, and the Lions pretty well have to take it all the way now.
You have to Hail Mary here. That's what you have to do. And now you're going to have maybe one play. You throw it up, you hope for a pass interference call, or that somehow your receiver can come down with it on a tip. But really, with 7 seconds left, that's basically your option now. I mean, if you're made a 40, 45-yard pattern.
This is it. And out. 2 seconds on the clock. So Damon Allen to Ryan Thelwell. They timed that well, but are they close enough to hammer a single point through? Well, get a field goal.
Here's the other thing you can do in this situation. Career longest for Matt Kellett is 54 yards. This is beyond that. And this would be a longer attempt than that. But if you put the punt team on the field, now the punter is 7 yards deeper than the field goal kicker would be, because he's 14 to 15 yards back of the center, whereas the field goal kicker kicks the ball from 7 yards back of the center. Now, one thing the Lions could do is line up in field goal formation and try and have Matt Kellett try and kick it into the corner. See, if Kellett lines up in field goal and then angles it into the corner, he can try and get a single and deliberately miss the field goal that way.
The Argos did that at one point, did they not?
That's right. Now the Calgary Stampeders will want to put their kicking guys back in the end zone. Mark McLaughlin will be back there. Duncan O'Mahony. And what they'll do, probably Greg Frères as well. And what they'll do is they'll put those guys back in here. So if that ball goes to the corners, they try and catch it and kick it back out of there if they're deep. I think that's what they're going to try and do. They're going to try and put the field goal formation in and try and angle it into the corner.
Don Blair is back in the end zone. Final play of the game here, barring a penalty. Matt Kellett looks for a single point, and a Calgary Stampeders loss will not happen. It rolls out of bounds. The Lions come up short by a point in a game they really, really had to win. Well, Wally Guano's team was not about to give up easily.
No, they didn't. Full credit to Wally Guano's team. Winnipeg will host a playoff game. BC Lions have one game left versus Saskatchewan, and that will determine which team goes over into the Eastern Division, which team stays in the West.
Bombers have 22 points, and that locks up second spot for Winnipeg because they were able to beat the Tiger Cats this afternoon. Good afternoon for the Stampeders. Interesting finish, wouldn't you say?
They have one more left versus Toronto.
To join us here at midfield for the jersey offer back promotion courtesy of Canada Safeway. For these 40 lucky fans are all going to get a game-worn jersey of one of their favorite.
We have a turning point. Hey, thanks very much. Good job. Good job. Sorry.
We can have the Calgary Stampeders players line up the 45-yard line.
That's a definite lock for Winnipeg.
Yep, they're done. It's over now. Winnipeg has 22 points. That's it.
The Lions didn't play with urgency, did they?
Not really.
It's a hard team to figure out.
Defensively, they played well. It might be the scariest team in the league, you know, because you don't know what you're going to see.
Yeah, and now they lose Claremont and Simon for the final stretch. Simon wasn't available, was he?
I don't know if he came back.
I don't think he was. But anyway, the Claremont's definitely not there. Straight to the turning point.
And congratulations once again to our 40 lucky participants lined up here on the 50-yard line.
Oh, who's it? Oh, yeah, it's for Super 8, right? Here we go. Time now for the TSN turning point from McMahon, brought to you by Super 8.
We had to go right down to the wire. Marcus Crandall to Kamal Peterson with the game on the line. Peterson finds the end zone. The extra point gave the Calgary Stampeders a 1-point lead, and that's the 1 point they needed to win this one.
Kamal Peterson, airborne into the end zone for the TSN turning point. A cash donation will be made to the Coaching Association of Canada for the training and development of Canadian coaches in amateur sport on behalf of TSN and Clean and Friendly Super 8s. All the room you need. A late comeback by the Stampeders, and the Lions will have to settle for third spot. Calgary wins by a point in their final game of 2002 at McMahon. Dave?
Thank you. Feels good. Nah, what's up, Dave? Where are you? Oh, hey, Cameron. What's up? Hey, it feels good to win, I can tell you that much. Even though we ain't going to playoffs, it still feels good. Am I talking to anybody? Oh, okay. What's up, Sissy Cole? In Winnipeg, congratulations, buddy. I'm about to get my jersey away if y'all don't hurry up. Oh, that was almost 51. Is he ready?
Big man on the defense, number 51, Alondra Johnson. Congratulations.
It feels great, man. I feel like we won the playoff or something, you know. It's that's all we got left. We got 2 games to play, and I'm excited about it. Just finishing up the season strong, and that today was just awesome for us to get the W. Yep, you know it. They won it.
Okay, your autograph launch check jersey. As the players stand there and suck it up and freeze at center field.
Well, it's up to Mike if he want to make that decision tonight, but I'm sure there's going to be some changes taking place with his organization. Yeah, we struggled the last 2 years. Last year, unfortunately, we made it to the playoffs and got a little streak going and was able to make playoffs. But this year, we definitely need some improvement, and I'm sure Michael's already putting the plans in work.
All right, newcomer in the Calgary Stampeders, number 82.
Thank you, Matt.
Number 16, backup quarterback Darnell Kennedy is the next jersey to go. Congratulations. And thanks for taking part in the Canada Safeway jersey off our back promotion. You see that big catch at the end of the game? Number 8, come out.
I'd have to say Barron. Barron looking real good right now. I like his style. He's a fun guy, and he's wearing my number, so there you go. Okay.
Number 13, Mark McLaughlin. Go get Mark McLaughlin's jersey. He'll be waiting for you right there. You can see him walking around right now. Number 12.
Chris, that's a tough question. I don't even want to go there, really. But you know what? I'm enjoying it, and I'm still playing good, solid football, and I'm going to keep going strong. If I feel good this offseason when I start training, and I'll be back for next year. I'll keep going until Damon quits. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Number 91, Tyrone Rogers. Happy to give it to you. Number 67, Jamie Crysdale. The next jersey to go. Congratulations. Number 21, Scott Reginald. Go meet Scott at center field there. He's going to autograph that in the Canada Safeway jersey off our back promotion. Number 74, made a big quarterback sack late in the game, Melvin Bradley. Shook Damon Allen down like a rag doll. Way to go, Melvin. Number 64, Jeff Pilon. Next jersey in the jersey off our back. Number 81, Camille Loud. You get his autographed jersey. Number 50, Jay McNeil. Next one to go. He's standing there walking towards you. Right over here, Jay. He's going to autograph that for you. And a welcome back to number 99, James Cotton. Here he is standing waiting to give his jersey. Congratulations. All part of Canada Safeway's jersey off our back promotion. All right. Number 85, he came to the Stampeders from Toronto this year, Brian Nugent. Congratulations. Brian goes back home next week as the Stampeders get set to take care of the Toronto Argonauts. Number 29, Willie Fields. Next one to go. Number 98, Antoine Young. Number 3, Kelly Malvo. Come on over here, Kelly, and autograph the jersey. All right, you're going to get a big jersey. Number 68, Freddie Childress. Congratulations. As this young man says, even bigger. Number 62, Bobby Singh.
Calgary Stampeders thank all you hardcores for staying around right till the end today.
Damon, what adjustments need to be made for this team to succeed next week?
We
We just have to go back to the drawing board. I mean, the only thing we do now is we're thankful we're in the playoffs. Get back to the drawing board and get back to playing good football, really.
Thanks, Damon. What adjustments need to be made in order for you guys to succeed and come out on top next week?
Everybody's got to get their heads out of their ass. This is freaking ridiculous. We come in here, having people making mistakes, stupid penalties, making dumb plays. We can't have that kind of stuff. We have to have everybody be focused and disciplined and do what they're supposed to do when they're supposed to do it.
Thanks, Sean. Good luck. Big adjustments need to be made for next week. You go back to the drawing board. Is it killer instinct that this team's lacking right now?
Everybody who receives
That was just a lack of finishing. I feel like we got relaxed on that last drive and gave them the game. That was frustrating for me. We just laid down and gave them the last drive.
Thanks, Perry.
You got a shot too?
Yeah, it was. I mean, I definitely wanted to get out here and get the start, but it didn't happen that way. And I got an opportunity to come in and play, and so it was good.
What does it feel like to be the spoiler? I mean, you're in BC's bid at a home field advantage.
I mean, I still rather be on their side of the ball. They're still going to the playoffs, and so, but it was good to, hurt their chances of playing a home game or whatever. But it was good to see. Like I said, guys didn't give up. They didn't come out here and lay down for those guys, and we came out and fought hard for a win.
Thank you.
Number 21, Scott Regenball.
Who's your friend?
This guy's going to receive my jersey after this game, and I'm sure he'll be proud of it, right?
Yeah.
All right.
AJ, you came out, you wanted to be spoilers, and you did that.
Yeah, we did it, and it feels good to get a win. And everybody played hard on our defense. Offense came through when they had to, but you know what? It's been a tough year, but it feels so good to just get the win and to feel good about our last game here at McMahon Stadium.
Number 50, Jay McNeil.